What's up? What's up? It's the Arthur Moats Experience with Deke. I'm Arthur Moats, and that's my main man, Deke.
What's good, bro?
Man, I get to see you today, so it's a great day. It's a snowy day. I like when it snows outside. You know, that's a positive as well. We about to have Thanksgiving break, last day of school for the kids for a little while. You know what I mean? We both are wearing nice black upper, apparel. Shout out. You know what I'm saying? I got my Steelers logo on. I don't see your Steelers, but I know you got it in your heart somewhere. You know what I mean?
It's in the blood.
Yeah, heck yeah. Don't, because it's pure. See,
Man, born and raised.
See? But either way, you know what I'm saying? We dapped out. We dripped out, baby. Can't complain. I mean, we're going to complain, but we can't complain just yet. You know what I'm saying? How's your morning going, man? I don't even want to ask you about you now. How's your morning been, though? Just when you woke your eyes up and you saw that snow outside, did that make
I didn't mind the snow.
Okay, all right, there it is.
It was snowing a little yesterday
There it is.
during the day, but nothing was laying on the ground. And I think some people were saying last night it was even snowing in Pittsburgh while it was that blizzard up in Cleveland. I guess we were getting some of the effects.
Crazy.
I didn't look outside, so I didn't.
Yeah.
I didn't get to see it. But yeah, it was nice seeing the snow. I'm not gonna front this morning.
Yeah, see what I'm saying? Nice little pick us upper, man, because we obviously didn't have the night that we all wanted to have, but we did get the snow this morning. So shout out to some snow out there, man. Shout out to the snow. That's about all I had, though. That's about all I had. What you got on your end, man?
Nothing. Let's talk about this game.
Yeah, oh man, it's one of them days. It's gonna be one of them days, man. But yeah, we gotta talk about the game. We also, I ain't even gonna just tell you, 11:30 hard stop. Obviously, we know we're in the morning time, but other than that, man,
That works for me.
yeah. Let's just, what they say, hit it and quit it, man. A little wake and bake. We just got to roll over, get right to it, D. Just roll over and get right to it, all right? So, with that being the case, I suppose we'll go ahead and start the show like how we always do, D. Whew, because, it's plenty that we got to unpack, baby. Plenty to unpack. But you already know the drill, man. Let us know in the comment section where you tuning in from. So that way we can give you those big boy shout outs to start the day's show. And of course, don't forget to hit that like button one time for the culture and subscribe if you are new to the channel.
Raw dollars 330 Youngstown, Ohio.
I see you, Rod. Share a line, baby. Share a line.
Mike Hood tuning in. Oh no, he's just shouting out 900 juice and Raw dollars.
All right, well, shout out to the homies. Shout out to the homies,
Chat interaction
man.
there.
I like that. I like when we get interaction like that.
James Martin, 740, Zanesville, Ohio.
Shout out to Zanesville.
Tito Good Vibes, the 817, Fort Worth, Texas. It isn't the end of the world.
Shout out to Tito. I like that perspective this morning, man. I see the positivity pouring through. Let's get it.
I mean, we're playing with house money anyway. The world was supposed to end back in 2012, right?
I mean, that's what I heard as well, man. That's definitely what I heard.
Rianne Farber, 785, Northwest Kansas.
Let's get it. Shout out to Northwest Kansas, by the way. I think they had a college game last night, if I remember correctly. Yeah. Shout out to Kansas, though.
Mike Hood, Columbus.
Man, let me tap in real quick. I got a couple I need to get off my chest real quick because Leah Warren back in the building. The 254, she says, man, last night felt like a fever dream. Can't believe we lost. Yeah, I dig it. I can definitely dig it. Had me over here deep thinking stuff last night. It was weird. Shout out to Motel 6 in the 207 Maine. Shout out to Maine one time for the culture. Tom Jade in the 209 California on the 6:30 a.m. bright and early says, here I am. Kids ready for school. I love when we get that dual element going on where you rocking out, showing some support, tapping in with your guys, and at the same time taking care of your fatherly responsibilities. So salute you on that. And then I will end it with the homie Roro in the 601 The Sip. Shout out to Phils and shout out to you, Roro, tapping in with us. But we appreciate your support for the channel. And David Decker, of course, in the 585 Rochester, New York. And he says, I got the book and photo, and I want to say thanks again, Moats. Nah, salute to you. I'm glad you received yours, man. I did send out all the giveaways that we most recently did. We do got another giveaway that we need to do, but we'll do that next week because we crossed that 700 threshold for the subscribers. Like I said, we're on the quest to 50,000 on the channel. We're getting there. We are getting there, but we can't do it without y'all, man. So salute to each and every one of y'all that do rock with us, man. We do appreciate you from the heart. But yeah, man. Yeah. It's like that. It's like that, man.
Trap game.
I mean, it was a lot that we could talk about like that.
Tomlin loss.
We flirted with all the different
game.
all the different things.
It has to be. I think
we flirted with all the different names, all the different ways.
You went up against a 2-8 team. You're 8-2, coming off a Ravens win.
We tried to promote it a little bit. We was like,
it's a trap game.
We said, no, look at Jameis Winston. He just threw for almost 400 yards last week. Oh, look at Jerry Jeudy. He's looking electric with Jameis. Oh, I know they're not running the same, but Nick Chubb is just good to have him back out there. But Jerome Ford said, "Hey, Myles Garrett, you know who he is. Them interior D tackles, they not names, but they are really good players, man." And we talked about their secondary, which we did. I felt like match what we kind of said with them was in their secondary
but
specifically.
They got lucky.
I was about to say, yeah, bro, because we was on their head. We was on their heads.
And that's why I actually
bro.
Don't deep down in my heart categorize this as a trap game or a letdown loss
either, bro.
Because
we got a snow blizzard in the middle of the second half out of nowhere, bro.
Well, and the Browns got lucky in the first half because we shot ourselves in the foot. And not in the way that I felt like we came out unprepared or too lax and weren't really trying.
Yep.
Boz missed a field goal. Shit happens. We didn't get a 4th and 2. Shit happens. Now, can you question our decision to go for it there?
I was going to say, even before we go there.
Putting fields out there and making it predictable.
I was going to say, before we get that far, right? You said Boz missed a field goal. What made it a 58-yard attempt, though?
I honestly can't recall.
Myles Garrett. No, Myles Garrett get the sack. We're about to be, at worst, kicking a close to 50 or maybe even a 40-yarder. Myles Garrett gets a sack on the opening drive.
It didn't even look like he did anything special
that pushes us to 58. He got chipped as well. He had 3 sacks in the first half, bro. 3 sacks in the first half. And what? One was a strip sack, if I remember correctly. Yeah. That, to me, man, I thought killed a lot of what we were trying to do early on. And
then Russ fumbles before half, gives the Browns a short field. I think defense stood up there and held them to 3.
We did the 4th and 1 attempt. I don't know if we want to get on either it was designed to go backside or Justin Fields read it wrong because it looked like the front side was wide open.
A disaster.
Yeah, but from the start of it just looked a little off. But it did kind of help us out in the second half at times.
Right, the Fields element.
Yeah.
But our calls to go for it on 4th down, I don't know. I guess you're always playing the result.
As well, though. I think weather had a little bit of a impact on it, especially when you look at even how the Browns were divvying up when they would decide to go. They were a little bit more aggressive, but I think when you're looking at trying to kick in some of that, it's like, man, would you rather take this chance of snap got to be right, hold got to be right, plant got to be right, pray that the wind doesn't take it, or, man, let's just keep the offense out here and see if we could pick up a few yards. I think it was kind of that going back and forth on both sides. And it was just unfortunate that they were able to connect on more of them, but it wasn't. I don't feel like it was by just flat out design. Some of that is Jameis making a play. As much as we want to poo-poo Jameis, we talked about Jameis's ability. Some of that you saw right there. He was defending the play.
I know he's got an arm. I know he can throw it deep down the field. He's got good arm strength and everything, but being John Elway wasn't on my scouting report for him.
I don't know why he threw for 5,000 yards.
No,
and
I'm talking
about
bro. The scrambling, actually being kind of nimble on his feet in the snow. Like, he's not the most coordinated quarterback.
Think of how Mason Rudolph looks.
Yeah, this was
it's the same.
I couldn't believe what I saw from Jeremy. Yeah. Being able to roll out in the snow, be pretty agile, throw dots.
Jameis can throw.
But then he wasn't good in the pocket at all. That's the funny part. He was terrible in the pocket yesterday.
The thing that I didn't like was I felt like we didn't generate enough pressure. We didn't create enough havoc on him. But on the occasion that we did, he was able to escape. And we're like, all right, now you allowing this dude to get in rhythm. We know Jameis is a streaky quarterback. He could either throw you into it or he could throw you out of it. And once he got that confidence rolling, man, you could just see like, yo, this is a dude that believes in himself. But that's been showing since he's taken over for Deshaun Watson. It's only been one game where he's actually like lit it up with interceptions. The rest of them have looked more like last night. That's Jameis right now, man. Unfortunately.
just a game from hell, really. But again, why I don't categorize it as a trap game, I just think everything went right in the Browns' favor.
Yeah.
Steelers got unlucky for the majority of that game. And with all that being said, we fought back to get it to 19-18, be up.
We took
with the
lead.
Ball with like
Come on,
3-4 minutes left. So
I swear I thought they were going to get it back.
That's not a traditional Tomlin loss.
I thought they were going to get
Tomlin
it
loss
back,
is the game's over in the third or fourth quarter, and we just looked terrible throughout really the whole game.
Deke, I thought they weren't going to get it back.
We came back and we're up
man.
19-18. I think it was a hell of an effort.
Dude.
So I actually consider this more of just a self-implosion because we did all that to come back, and then we did everything wrong those final 3-4 minutes, from putting Fields out there on third down when we pass it, the Corliss Waitman punt, and then the Tomlin timeout decisions and all that garbage with the defense on the final drive. That was just, we did everything to give it away. We did everything to deserve to lose there. Okay. After we fought all the way back.
Yeah.
Gave that great effort to come back and then just throw it away. It's almost like I compared it to being on a good health kick, being on a good diet.
Mm-hmm.
You're so good for 6 days of the week. Yeah. And then on the weekend, you throw it away by drinking and eating fast food.
Respect.
Terrible.
And I dig it, man.
Absolutely terrible.
I dig it.
So I think in my heart of hearts, I feel like it was just a fluky game, like an outlier game with the snow and the bullshit that happened in the first half.
Mm-hmm.
I appreciate the effort on the comeback, but that's what I think it is. It's more of that than just the Tomlin loss. We choke against bad teams, that type of thing. Letdown game. I think it was just throw this game out.
In terms of overall, I agree. You hitting on some spots. I think as I look into it a little bit more from a why everything happened the way that it did, we got beat in the trenches. Our offensive line got beat and our defensive line got beat. When we don't win in the trenches, our team struggles. That's who we are right now, man. O-line didn't protect well enough. You get sacked 4 times, get pressured a multitude of times, and get hit I don't know how many times. That's going to throw our rhythm off. We ran the ball as a whole. It ended over 100 yards on the night, but situationally, we didn't run the ball well. We felt one-dimensional at times or gimmicky at times with Fields. Even though Fields had success, to me, it kind of got too predictable, almost too one-dimensional. The flip side, our D-line. How many times was Jameis sacked? Once. How many times was he hit? We did not generate enough havoc on him, and when we don't, we said this is kind of why Lamar Jackson has success against other teams. He's able to extend the play, and now when your guys are in coverage a little bit too long, now he's able to find that soft spot. We allowed Jameis to do a lot of that, but to me, I don't sit here and just look at that and say, oh, man, that's us. Some of that I give credit to them. We like to talk bad about Myles Garrett solely because we have TJ Watt, but y'all see who Myles Garrett is. When they put up their graphics of stats, he's at 98.5 sacks now on his career. TJ's at 105. That's a ton of sacks for both of those players, regardless of who we think is the depoy or not. That's a heck of a player right there. So to act as if he can't take over a game the same way we look at TJ taking over a game, I think that's us being a little bit arrogant as, Steeler fans. To me, man, Myles Garrett in that first half was the difference. And then in the second half, those interior D linemen were the difference. We could not get that run game going consistently enough to make them respect us. The flip side was when that snow hit, we couldn't take advantage of them as much as we wanted on the perimeter. Russ still ended, was it 21-28 for 270 and a tutty? And that was with all the pressure, with all the snow. I'm like, yeah, with you, man. If the weather is nicer, I think it does go a little bit differently in that second half because now we can really take advantage of them. But if we can't protect, man, it's going to look like that where we're back and forth. And now a weird punt situation, we can focus on Corliss Waitman. I look at the protection and I say, if Corliss puts his full leg into that, man, he's going to kick that ball up Herbig's back, man. So he short legs it. Try not to get it blocked. Now, instead of, him having a nice punt, it's just the compound effect. Protection doesn't work, so the protection impacts the kick. Kick doesn't work, now we got a short field. Short field leads to what? Browns getting success. It's all the chain of events of the little details amongst the game, but that's the part where you got to give them a little bit of credit. And for us, we say, yeah, you can't just think that because you beat this team a week ago, they're going to win. or you gonna win versus them. Remember, this is the same Browns team that beat the Ravens 2 weeks ago as well. With Jameis, they have beat Steelers and Ravens in the span of 4 weeks. But we go look at the Browns and talk about the Browns as if they trash because of what their record is. Their record hasn't been that with Jameis Winston. They 2-2 or 2.5? Well, because he took over
2-2 now.
Yeah, but he took over at the midway point of that game for the Deshaun Watson one is what I'm saying when he got hurt.
Yeah, I don't know if they won that.
That's what I was calling it a half.
Well, because they threw DTR in.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like,
they didn't even throw Jameis in. I think they had him as their third quarterback. That game didn't make sense at all.
I'm with you. But it's like with Jameis, man, they are a little bit of a different team. They have a lot more downfield passing feeling to them and just a more explosive element to them that if you allow them to have confidence to stick around, man, boom. Now this team is in a dogfight, and we sit here at the end of the game like, okay, should we have called a timeout here, or should we have trusted defense here? Should we have tried to run out a little bit more clock here? Should we have kept Russ on the field instead of putting Fields out there? Like, we start to second guess and look at all of that type of stuff. Just unfortunate, man.
Yeah, at the end of the day, we came back. It was 19-18. That's what the game came down to. You're sitting in the second half. It's a blizzard. We screwed ourselves in the first half. Unlucky stuff happened. And you're like, we just got to get out of this thing with a win. We got to fight. Browns went up 2 scores. It's like, all right, we have to have a hell of a drive here. We got to score a touchdown, get it within 1 score because a field goal doesn't do that
anymore.
And
what Russ do?
They did. Actually, that drive actually.
What that man do?
No, that drive was the field drive, actually.
Oh, okay.
The one after they went up
with
2.
the Jalen Warren one. I'm talking about the go-ahead.
That was after the Herbig fumble.
Yeah,
through the dot to Calvin Austin across the middle. Shout out to Calvin Austin for catching that too. He had the best game out of all receivers. He's a natural hands catcher, man. Natural hands catcher. I like the adjustment by Arthur Smith as well. I know last night people were trying to get on him, but I'm like, nah, let's not do that. We had 6 explosive passing plays of 15+ yards through the air, man. And I thought the subtle details of how they were last week or the 2 weeks prior, we've been using Calvin Austin vertically on the perimeter, right? Out by the numbers, throwing them verticals. We saw the ball hit on his shoulder pads last week. It's a tough catch for Calvin based on just the angle of his size, the sideline and everything along with that. Them bumping him to the interior part and now running those same verticals, but now you got a little bit more space. The angle of it for the throw and all things included, it just makes it a little bit easier on him, and you see the difference. Touchdown. Whereas the previous 2 weeks we were like, why we keep throwing deep balls to him? Yeah. But prior was that
to
early, I can't remember. I can't remember when it was. Might have been second half. Or might have been early in the second half.
I think it was for Warren. I mean, not for Warren, excuse me, for Calvin. Yeah, it was in the second quarter. He had the 46-yarder versus Delpit, and then in the fourth quarter, he had the 23-yard touchdown. But to me, that's the stuff that goes unnoticed when we're critiquing coaches, man. That's a subtle detail that matters. That's a subtle detail of I saw 2 weeks ago that's not working because we had him out here. Now let's put him in here, and boom, you see the production off of it, man. To me, man, like I said, that I can't wait till we see him again. Hopefully, it's no blizzard, but yeah, I want to see him again, man.
Yeah, whatever. It is what it is.
Shout out to my dog GP, man. I like his
energy, game. Man. I don't think this game really defines us one way or another. I don't think it was gonna define us if we won. We'd be at 9-2, and with us losing, now we're at 8-3. I don't think it. Let me put it this way: I don't think it changes the definition of this team going forward or who we are going forward. Yeah. Either way, we're still in contention in the AFC for the playoffs. We could beat any team in the league, but obviously we could lose to any team as well, based off yesterday.
It's National Football League.
It's the same thing though. We're just 8. The record's a little bit different. We could beat the Chiefs. We could beat the Bills. We could beat the Ravens. We go toe to toe with any of these teams. It's just now maybe we screwed ourselves a little bit with the seeding. Yeah, losing a game like that.
Listen, man, in the National Football League, this is week to week, man. This is week to week. But we got time. We're gonna bounce back. We'll definitely bounce back.
We have no choice. Literally no choice. We lose to the Bengals. Now you're starting to make the losing a trend. I'm not gonna say a streak, but you're starting to make it a trend. 2 in a row. Just like we did Colts Cowboys. That was bad. That was a bad stretch. Bad time. All right, first super of the day. Let's go. UW says, I swear one day this team will stop laying down a perceived lesser competition. 1-4 against Cleveland on Thursday night games.
Let's go UW. The only people who perceive them as less competition. Right? Players, you know what it is. You know what it is every time you show up, man. But fans will talk about these players or these teams as if they suck. Name the key dudes for them that was cooking. Jameis Winston, Jerry Jeudy, Nick Chubb, Myles Garrett, right? Grant Delpit, Greg Newsome, Denzel Ward, right? We know these dudes, but we talk about them very crazily. We look at them very crazily. It is like, yo, these are high-quality players that can beat you. I don't care what their record is. They are good enough, man, if you allow them. And we allow them to have some confidence, man. Now, like you said, it becomes real iffy. All it takes is one thing going the wrong way, but everybody at this level is talented enough. So this notion of lesser than competition, I don't think that's accurate personally, man. But I get it because record-wise, it's easy to just point to it and say, oh, 2-8 means they suck. It's a lot more detail involved with that, man.
That's the thing. We are the better team.
Better team,
that's how you lose the game.
But time out. What is the margin, though? When we say better team, we speak on better team as if there is this 30-point spread between the two of us. What is the difference between us and them in terms of point differential? Nah, it's very minute. And that's from the top team in the league to the worst team in the league, man. But the mindset is because their record is what it is, we should lay up, man. It's easy.
It's not necessarily about the record. We just are the better team. I think we have the better players, the better offense, the better defense, like all that across the board.
Yeah.
And that's how you lose the game. You shoot yourself in the foot, have turnovers, not convert in critical downs, and give them the momentum, give them that hope.
Mm-hmm.
So that's on us. It's not necessarily like all on the Browns just flat out beating us. It's us doing stupid stuff in the process.
The perfect storm.
Yeah, and then plus the storm.
Oh, yeah, that's all, yeah.
Let's go UW. Says the highest paid defense was pathetic soft coverage. How do we only get one sack against a backup offensive tackle? The defense didn't play up to how they are paid.
That's my big takeaway. O-line, D-line. They did not do their job. And I mean, like you said, a lot of the other stuff, man, is like appetizers to me or like the vegetables and the sides to me. But the meat and potatoes of it all, O-line, D-line. When we win in the trenches, we win. We look great. When we lose in the trenches, it's a nail-biter dogfight. Hold on to your butts. Let's pray something goes in our favor, man. Yeah. In terms of the soft coverage, every coverage looks soft when you don't get pass rush. That's the reality of it, man. I don't care if you're playing man. I don't care if you're playing zone. I don't care if you're 8 drop. If you do not get pressure, there is no coverage that is going to be hard, right? That's just the reality of it, man. Now, in terms of backup offensive linemen, I also agree. You look at them dudes, man. They got to win no matchups, baby. Which offensive line were we over there, or which offensive lineman were we over there saying, oh, yeah, this is a bad matchup for TJ. This is a bad matchup for Cam. This is a bad matchup for Larry O. This is a bad matchup for Herbig. Nah, we weren't talking like that. We were actually talking very differently. We're like, yo, this is where we should cook them at. And that's the part where we say, okay, is that us not playing well enough, or did those guys actually play better? We only think of our rotational guys or our backups are the only guys that are allowed to play good, right? Beanie Bishop's the only guy that can play well. Nick Herbig is the only backup that can come in for a $14.5 million guy and play well. But it's like, yo, they also got guys that can do the same exact thing, man. But we act like that's only something that is exclusive to us. And like I said, it's frustrating at times, man, because now it's this perception of, oh, they ain't do enough. But it's like, yo, they're good players, man. That's what we keep trying to hammer home. They have good players. As much as we're going to make it more about us, we still have to give them respect for this game, man. Or at least we should. Otherwise, history will continue to repeat itself.
Yeah, I kind of like Pickens' energy.
Ain't nothing wrong with it. And Pickens' energy was what? You lost, right? Like I said, you can allow it to repeat itself, or you can look at it for what it is and find a solution to it.
Yeah.
But I like it, though, baby. You know, I ain't tripping on it.
Let's go, UW. Says, I love Russ, but no more red zone Russ. 8 QBR in the red zone is unacceptable. Anything in the red zone should be Fields.
How do you feel about that?
I think we should pick a quarterback.
Okay. How do you feel about that?
I think it's got to be Russ. I don't think Russ has really given us a reason to be benched. Like you said, 270 and a touchdown yesterday. And granted, we do get some of the spark from Fields. We did have that Fields drive. I mean, he was.
It was a 30
the
yarder.
Main part of why we scored that touchdown, and he got us the roughing the passer.
Love it.
It's just such a terrible call, but I'll take it. Whatever. A normal tackle.
Deke, don't you do it, Deke. They say body weight. I say, ooh.
Russ don't get us that roughing the passer. Russ don't hang in the pocket long enough to make that throw.
No. Russ was getting hit, but he was getting like ejected. Every time I saw Russ get, he was like flying away from the dudes in the air. My man low key like that was one of the old fashioned ones on Fields, bro. But I like how you said. I'm glad. See, when you say that, I agree with it. If I say that, then they be like, hey man, you supposed to be rocking with us. So I appreciate you saying that, man.
But he was a key part of the success on that drive and us scoring and getting back in the game. So I don't want to take some of the field stuff for granted, but you also saw it be a negative for us and kind of kill the flow of the offense and just be weird because it's too predictable at times. And then, my God, on that third down play, 3rd and 4, end of the game, final drive, we got to get first downs to close it out.
Talk to him, Deke. Talk to him.
What did I say, man?
Talk to him, Deke.
I can live
Talk to
with
him.
Russ not getting the first down in moments like that. Mm-hmm. I can live with that. But
it could have been the exact same play.
Well, no, and even I mean, here's the thing. That's the other part of the problem is the play. If you're gonna have Fields out there. You know what Fields brings to the table. You know why Fields is out there. It's for an RPO. It's for some sort of run, some sort of play that's actually going to utilize Fields' legs, right?
Make the defense have to account for the quarterback.
But no, the play was just him in shotgun and throwing it. That's for us. If that's the play, let Russ make that pass down the field to Pickens. Let Russ throw up the moon ball.
Talk to him, Deke. Talk to him, bro.
I didn't think the pass was bad from Fields necessarily. I don't think the decision was bad, but he's not as good of a passer as Russ, particularly on those type of passes because Russ will give it a little bit more arc. And I thought Fields overthrew him a little bit, overthrew Pickens. Because if Russ is throwing that, I think we do maybe get that pass interference because it would have been more
catchable.
Well, not only that, more physical because Emerson wasn't really looking, but Pickens would have came back for it more, and it would have been more obvious to the refs that we got to throw this flag here.
Yeah. Respect.
But since Fields had it overthrown a little bit, Pickens was like weirdly falling down. That would have been a tough flag to throw, I'll be honest. So, I think you just got to pick a quarterback because I'm not you're seeing too many of the negatives of Fields getting in there pop up, and it's getting annoying.
All right. Now, respect on all of that, man. I'll say starting out, in terms of red zone rust, man, I'm not tripping. Keep my dog in there, man. Number one, you see his ability to throw the football. You see his ability to dice you up and take full advantage of you regardless of the weather. Inside the numbers, outside the numbers, it doesn't matter. The whole let's make a big ordeal about this 8 QBR in the red zone, I mean, to me, honestly, whoop-de-doo. I think it's more than just a Russ red zone thing. But if we want to just minimize it to him, that's fine. Once again, I said protection matters. You look at those plays that Russ was trying to orchestrate anything in the red zone and watch how many times he was hitting pressured. Then come back and tell me, oh, yeah, man, you got to get him out of here. Nah, like I said, it does not matter if the O-line is not going to give him enough time, especially in the red zone. The other part of the red zone is this. We said with our receivers, we don't have crazy route runners. You've heard me talk about this numerous times. We said Calvin Austin is probably our best, work the middle of the field as a receiver guy, but it's not really a true, I'm going to route you up. Same with GP. He's more down the grass vertical. Van Jefferson is realistically, since coming here, has been more down the grass vertical. Mike Williams, down the grass vertical. Well, why does that not show up in the red zone? Because the field is condensed. So the same issues that we've talked about plenty of times, it just gets highlighted in the red zone because now the thing that we've been able to offset it with, which is the vertical pass, right? To throw it out the numbers, let GP go up and get it, let Van Jefferson go up and get it, right? all of that goes away because now I don't have the threat of you running by me. So if you can't run by me and you can't give me high level route running, well, now you're going to have separation issues as well. So once again, we can isolate it the rest if that makes everybody feel better, but it's a lot more detail in terms of why it is what it is. And it's really just going to come down to either those guys have to find ways to get better detail in their route running. Arthur Smith can potentially try to get a little bit more creative with some of his crossing routes when the field gets condensed. Or the cop out is, hey, man, you just got to score from further out. All right, you got to hit it from a little bit, in that 30-ish range.
That's the thing.
And
we actually have. How many touchdowns
that's what I'm saying.
Do we have that's in like the high red zone? It's not going to count.
So I'm like,
for the red zone.
That's the alternative to it.
Because the Calvin Austin touchdown
that's high red.
Was in the brown zone, but it wasn't necessarily the red zone.
Right, 23 yards, right?
Was it?
Yeah, it was 23. So it was like right on the fringe of it. So once again, if you want the context, the answers are there. If you want to, and that's why Coach Thomas says seek comfort. Seek comfort is just saying, oh, it's this guy because he plays this, the number says that, and just switch him out, we're winning, we're good. It's like, nah. It's a lot more details, a lot more context, a lot more reasoning behind that, man. I do, though, I don't have the biggest issue all the way with the Fields element. I just think that we're just still rolling it out and trying to get the rhythm to it. This is the second game we saw him, but this was the most that we saw him in the dual quarterback situation. And I thought it made sense, especially going back to the Saints game just last week. You brought it up yourself about Taysom Hill. You said, man, Taysom Hill had the game of his life against who? This Browns defense. And why was that? Because they could not account for the quarterback. And you saw when Fields came in, that was the case for us. It was just for us, we looked out of rhythm. We looked out of whack with it. That was the part where I'm like, we got to get a little bit more detail with that. And if you're going to use Fields that frequently, you have to get a little bit more creative because it was super predictable at one point where it was like, yo, you know he's about to run this ball.
You're not giving him any passes.
Yeah, options. You're either running it right, you're running it left, or it's a one-man route with GP. That's not enough for Fields right now. That was why we were talking when Fields was the starter. We wanted to upgrade the wide receiver room to give him some more help. But we're essentially bringing him into a situation and saying, hey, don't even look over here for another option. This is your one read, and almost like dumbing it down. I'm looking at that and just saying, okay, and this was the first time we really wrote it out, and it was a short week. I'm hoping next week
we decide to open it up for him on that third and fourth.
And that's the part where
great timing.
Well, this is the thing. You're trying not to be predictable because all game up until that point, it was ultra predictable. So that's the part where it's like you can see Arthur Smith kind of trying to work different things, and that's why I'm like, shout out to Arthur for even implementing Justin Fields because that did get us our first scoring drive, or touchdown drive. But at the same time, it's like we can still see where it's a work in progress. And that's the part where we're just like, yo, I'm glad that it's week 11 and not in the postseason that we're figuring this out. You're figuring it out now because by the time we get to the postseason, that's all the stuff that we want to have completely locked in, whether we're implementing it or dead in it. But you're figuring it out right now. Just so happened it was a short week and we ended up taking the L, so it gets highlighted a little bit more. But to me, man, those are some of the things, like I said, that I see with the red zone specifically. And then with the Justin Fields stuff, I just think if they can get it in rhythm, it can be a weapon. But you got to be in rhythm, though.
Yeah. Yeah, I can't deny the positives we get from it. I actually like seeing Fields out there. I just hate it for
it kills the
team, the game flow when we do stupid stuff with it. So you got to be perfect with it. You got to be 3 for 3 like you were last week.
Yeah.
And that's not something you can't expect, or that's not something that I think's gonna happen because you're never gonna be perfect
with it. Yeah, we want perfection, and it's like, oh, if it doesn't work, then why do we do it? But if it does work, it's like great. I think that's just we got to live with it when they decide to call it. And I think we will be more calculated with it because of that, though.
Yeah, part of it probably was the snow.
Yeah.
I mean, because it was just like it's gonna be tougher to pass.
Yeah, and we know Fields can throw, but it's like, yo, he's not the guy that you want throwing in a blizzard. That's what Russ is here for. That's what we say Russ does. He can throw the ball. So I'm just, if we're going to throw that up, man, I would much rather have been Russ in that situation. But if it's sunny out there, I don't have an issue with it. If it was perfect conditions, I don't have an issue with Fields having that throw. But I think all of that kind of goes into it. And when the result is an incompletion and you lose the game, yeah, we're going to be looking at that decision even more. So, like, yo, are you sure you did? Was that the best decision? Why would you make that specific one right there?
I don't even know if he faked the handoff.
I don't think he did. I think it was just snap, look, toss it up. Yeah.
Terrible. Not on Fields. I don't mind the attempt, but I think terrible from the coaching staff by having him out there in that situation and having the play just be that.
Yeah, I want an RPO element of it. I want some type of tight end element.
I just want Russ out there if you're gonna do that passing play.
Phil should give you run pass options when you're calling him specifically in those situations.
But then it's too predictable. So that's why I'm just like, let's just pick a quarterback, man. Enough of this.
Yeah, I mean we've picked.
We're
the
confusing
quarterback
ourselves.
We picked the quarterback. It was still Russ, but I just think when you look at how that Saints game went, how do you not put Fields out there for a little bit? Taysom Hill had the game of his life versus them, man. How do you not do it?
I think for me, really, it comes down to that 3rd and 4. It comes down to that play. Because everything else,
the 30-yard
talk
game,
about it being in flow of the game, not as critical moments.
Yeah.
But 3rd and 4, we need this first down. Let's close it out.
Yeah.
Come on.
Respect, baby.
And you're going to do that pass play?
Respect, man.
Now, granted, we put Fields out there last week in a critical series to get a first down. It worked. But
Fields had the biggest run of the game, though.
What?
He had the biggest run of the night last night.
Yesterday. That's what I mean. I'm probably talking most specifically about that 3rd and 4 in our decision to utilize Fields that way. That was the most frustrating use of him.
Yeah, that's respect.
Because we had, a couple negative plays with Fields, not getting the 4th down. There was one where I think he had to roll out and we lost a couple yards. But there were a lot of positives. The Jalen Warren touchdown run.
It was a net positive.
A big part of that was Fields being in the game. He got the roughing the passer. He had the explosive run, as you talk about. So, yeah, I can't deny that the good things we get from Fields, but
we just don't like it when it doesn't work.
Don't be getting too cute with it. Come on. Don't be outthinking yourself here.
Low key, I agree with you right there. I felt like, we about to start outthinking ourselves a little bit with it. So I'm hoping that.
That's why I just feel like the default,
like we was getting a little bit too far.
Should be this is your quarterback. Don't even think about this other stuff. That's what I would prefer the default be. Because when you do have Fields out there, I just feel like it has to be perfect for it to work. Yeah. Because if not, you're messing with the game flow. You're messing with Russ's rhythm too. Oh, you have Fields out there for 2-3 plays in a row. Yeah. And a couple of them are negative. Oh, Russ, go out there on 3rd and 13.
Go save us. Yeah.
That's messed up, man.
Yeah.
That's really messed up.
Trust me, everything you just said, I'm with you 100% on, bro. It does mess your rhythm up. It does mess the flow up. And the information that you're getting. If I've played you for 3 plays or if we're at 3 plays, that first play, I'm getting information, man. Positive or negative play, I'm getting information. Second play, positive or negative, I'm getting information. So now when that 3rd one hits, I kind of already built up in my mind a little bit of a Rolodex of what's been going on. From the sideline, it's a way different gathering of that information. It's a way different feel to it. And because they both play quarterback, you think Russ got a chance to ask Fields, hey, bro, what you see out there when he came in? No. You just get back in there and make it work. So that is the strain that it does put on Russ in a sense. But shout out to both of those guys being professional, and that is part of it. You got to be ready to go regardless of how you're utilized. And for the majority of it, they were. But, yeah, we got to fine-tune it some more, though. We definitely got to.
AJ Martinez says, it may sound strange. We need to be a 2-quarterback team in bad weather. Fields had no problem in the snow last night. Russ did great, but 2 is super fast.
So, yeah, we just talked about with the legs, man.
I think he brings up a great point because there were 2 players I noticed on offense when it started snowing. It felt like they got a little slower.
Hey, don't do that. Don't do that.
One was Russ.
Don't you
and
do
the other was a running back. Not named Jalen Warren.
He said, where all that speed go, man? Oh, so you look slow out here today, man.
Didn't have his snow tires on.
He had the wrong cleats on, man. Let him live, bro.
Wasn't prepared for the snow. I think that it's pretty crazy for all the cold games.
Hilarious, bro.
Najee's been in.
He looks weird.
I don't think he's ever played in the snow like that. So this was our first experience with Najee being out there. And
good call, bro.
He needs to pick up a pointer or 2 from Bettis or talk to someone.
Deke, he even put a ball on the ground.
Yeah.
I was like,
where's my Jalen Warren respect?
I say, yo, what is this, Najee? What are you doing to me?
I think it was twice. Well, the second one he was down.
He was down, but it came out. It for certain came out, bro.
Where's my Jalen Moore?
Yes, bro. Out here? Yeah, I was literally looking there. I'm sitting here last night. I'm just like, Najee, why are you doing
there
this
was
to
a
me
point,
tonight,
I don't know when it was, that I said the second half, let's just keep Fields and Warren out there. They look the most explosive. And just run some RPOs. Because, I just felt like they looked like the two fastest guys on the field.
Yeah.
Maybe if we kept running the ball and doing some stuff with them, Browns just wouldn't even be able to keep up.
I was just so torn between me liking how Fields put pressure on them defensively, making them have to account for the quarterback, and Russ being able to dagger them multiple times with 6 explosive pass plays, man, in the game. Like, that I love. As much as I love that 31-yard run, I'm like, bro, them explosives through the air, and it's just way less. I feel like uncertainty with those. I think I can get that way more consistently than if I keep doing the zone read, if I keep doing the put Fields in the run action. I just feel like it gives you more opportunities for the fumble, for the big hit, for the injury, for the miscommunication, for whatever. Whereas with Russ, like, yo, when he got that time, he putting that ball where only his guy could go get it, whether it's top shoulder, back shoulder.
He had some nice slant passes.
Yeah, I'm like, man, the way this dude be throwing that rock, I'm like, bro, I don't care what y'all be talking. I'm like, yo, let that man cook, man.
The one in between
let
the
him
cover
cook,
too.
bro.
That was Dan Jefferson, I think.
Let that man cook, bro. You can see it. He's a little guy. He bombed on. Oof. Bro, he threw that one. The touchdown, bro, he got bombed on. He's still running that thing. I'm like, bro, that's Russ, man.
Yeah, and I think, he had a good game. I think he did everything he needed to win it, but it's weird because I don't think the O-line played particularly well. I think it was way worse in the run blocking than the pass blocking. Because in pass blocking, I actually do think there were times where Russ did have 2 or 3 seconds but ended up taking a sack or had to throw it away, where the line gave him enough time. It wasn't perfect or anything, but Russ was either not reading it right or, like you said, the receivers weren't getting open quick enough, or the plays we were calling, they were running too long of a route.
Yeah.
So I don't know. There's just some misconnect there, miscommunication on what we were trying to do, because it felt like there was still time, because there were moments where Jameis, it was the same thing, like, oh man, Herberg's about to get there, TJ's about to get there. He steps up a little bit. It was like 2 seconds after he took the snap, he was able to get it across the middle real quick to Judy on a slant. Yeah. So credit to Jameis for that. I mean, he was either getting the ball out quick enough, or he was scrambling and looking like John Elway out there.
And then they had the situational good stuff happen. Drop the wide open one. Oh, now you make the crazy, 4th down play. Oh, drop this easy one. Now you make the Randy Moss dunk on you catch for the 2-point conversion. And joke, like, I feel like they had that type of vibe going on as well. And that's when you start realizing, like, all right, we've allowed this team to believe. All the Jameis hype pregame talks and motivational speeches has got these guys feeling like they got a chance, and now you're dealing with a real life nightmare right now, because they are talented enough, but because they got that confidence, all of a sudden it's like, they ain't going, man.
That's the thing. We got it to 1918.
They were ready to give it up when we went 1918.
So for me, they had 2 series in a row on offense. The strip sack, and then Jameis throws the pick to Dante Jackson.
They was ready to give it up, bro.
It was over.
Oh my God.
The game was over. I would love to know what the percentage was that they had the Steelers are going to win.
Swear, bro.
Probably in the 90s.
Because I'm like, yo, they were ready to give it up, bro.
We just need to get that first down. Probably needed to get 2 first downs. But
that changed everything. Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you like the aggressive call, though?
What?
In the sense of, like, at the end of it.
Which one are you talking about?
The failed one. Which one? That would have been the. Let me pull it up real quick. Let me see.
The 3rd and 4?
Yeah.
I don't want Fields in there.
That's just your big thing on it, just not having Fields' part.
Yeah. I think. Yeah. It's just, if you're gonna pass the ball, let it be Russ.
Now,
granted, maybe we don't get it with Russ too, but I just can live with that more.
Yeah.
I could sleep easier at night.
Because that's my thing. I'm like, I still like the aggressive mindset, because I feel like we're trying to
because I don't think it was a bad decision.
Yeah,
one-on-one Pickens. Now, that's the other thing, though, you got to consider with the snow. There were some passes, at least one, where we threw it up and Pickens couldn't even see it.
Yeah, so I did see that, yeah.
You might be hurting yourself there and passing it, or lessening your chances of getting a complete pass because of the snow and throwing up a deep pass. But it looked like Pickens actually had bearings on the ball.
Yeah,
but that's a risk you take.
Because I did like the aggressive nature though. I was like,
I was
as much as I don't like all the little things that went into the place, like as a whole though, I like that mindset of we're trying to win this game. We're not trying to be conservative here. We're trying to win it. We think we're good enough, and I think that kind of goes also with the thought process behind the timeouts, right? People are like, oh, Coach Tomlin, terrible clock management. Why didn't you call a timeout? I think once again, this is where we all kind of come to that crossroads of offensive perspective versus defensive perspective. For offense perspective, it's call timeouts, save as much time as you can. They're going to score. Let's try to see how much time we can get Russ to have the ball at the end of the game. Defensive mindset, bro, we're going to get this stop. I don't care about none of this. We're going to get a stop. And unfortunately, they had one or two. I want to say they had the fourth down conversion. They had two.
It was 3rd and 7.
Yeah.
They got the 3rd and 7, and then
they had a 4th and 3 and a 4th and 1 on that drive.
That was on the earlier draft. I think that was on the one that they went up 2 scores.
Good call. Yeah. Good call.
Yeah, the last one, it was the decision to.
No. I'm talking about the drive where they went and got the lead on us. It was 19-18, final drive. They had a 4th and 3. Jameis Winston hits Jerry Jeudy, and then they had a 4th and 1. What happened on the 4th and 1? I forgot what happened on the 4th and 1.
Well,
and we had the Benny Bishop penalty on it as well when he hits the ball out of Judy's hand.
That was actually genius by him because I think it stopped the clock.
But it gave them more yardage. You got them even closer.
I think that's the point. That they're at a chip shot field goal range. You got to let them score because a field goal has them go up. Mm-hmm. Either way, I'm actually surprised they didn't just kneel it out. I think that was stupid by the Browns, but maybe they were worried about, like you said, the snap and everything with the field goal.
There's a lot of elements that go in. And we just saw the Bears lose a game last week. You saw the Bears lose a game last week doing what? Not trying to get closer, waiting until the end to kick the field goal. It gets blocked.
No, but I mean, you couldn't really get much closer at that point. They were within the 10. They were like at the 5. I think, the final 2 plays were within the 10. And
I think if you're trying to win the game, you do it how they did it, man.
I don't know. I mean, it at least gave us a chance at the end. We needed more time, though. And I think that use of the timeout was terrible by Tomlin. I think we should have tried to let Chubb score on that first run when he was getting pretty close to the end zone. Because at that point, they have the chip shot field goal. What do you think is the better chance for us to win? They got that 18-yard, 20-yard field goal, mm-hmm. and they miss the snap or we block it, or we have Russ with the ball, 2 timeouts, minute 30, 2 minutes left. I think
once again, it
much
depends.
Better chance with the offense.
Are you ready? Offensive mindset, defensive mindset.
No, I think you're just playing the percentages there. Like
offensive mindset, defensive mindset. Once again, are you
an
ready?
18-yard field goal.
Deeks, are you ready? Have the Pittsburgh Steelers blocked field goals this season? Yes or no?
They have. But
have they blocked multiple field goals this season, Deke? Yes or no? The answer is yes. Has the Pittsburgh Steelers on defense created multiple turnovers? The answer is yes. Did they have turnovers in this game? The answer is yes. So to act as if it's like, far-fetched to just believe that, my defense, I play with them, I pay these guys, this is what leads the team. Like, it's terrible. It's a terrible decision to just be like, I believe they can make a play.
Actually, at that point, I do.
So that's why I said offensive mindset,
no, but
defensive
when
mindset.
You're within the 10 and you have a chip shot field goal, you need your biggest enemy is the time at that point. The chip shot field goal lets the Browns go up.
Okay.
I mean, yeah, we have blocked field goals, but how many field goals have been kicked against us?
All right, so this is my question.
What's the percentage of our blocking?
So once again, it's all going to come down to what you prefer. You would prefer to have your quarterback on the field, potentially run out of time and lose, and it's still the same result versus defense being on the field, they don't get the stop, and now we don't have as much time. You're picking your poison one way or the other. It just depends on your personal preference. That's what I'm trying to say. You prefer your offense on the field at the end of the game. I prefer my defense on the field at the end of the game. It's just a difference of perspectives, baby. That's it.
I mean, sure, it's a preference, but I also think the percentages are way more in the offense's favor at that point with Russell Wilson being your quarterback and having that time and having timeouts.
Okay.
given that. I mean, they showed the stat on the screen, the amount of game-winning
40
drives
game-winning drives, yeah. And we say it's the highest paid defense, right? We said we got the best player on the planet on our defense, right?
Well, like Let's Go UW was saying, they ain't necessarily playing like it.
Not playing like it, sure, but to act as if we can't sit here and say our defense is a better unit than our offense, at least on paper. At least that's the way the compensation is. At least statistically, that's what it's supposed to be. So why, when I get into this situation, these moments, now all of a sudden I shouldn't believe in them? I shouldn't. If that's the case, why are we paying them what we paying them? Split the money on the offense. Let's just try to outscore everybody.
Well, I'm not saying that whenever they were at the 20 or 30 and they had the 3rd and 7, the whole 3rd and 7, 4th and 2 decision. Yeah, I think you do got to just let it play out, but wasting the timeout was terrible. And then once they did get closer to the end zone, that's when you gotta pivot. You gotta be adjusting like quick on the fly and changing your perspective on things.
I bet.
Because once they got to that point, the time's the worst enemy.
Okay.
You got to let them score. You have to, because they're either gonna score, kick the field goal, and we don't even get the ball because they run out the clock, which I think they should have done. They just should have kneeled it and everything, because at least we did have a chance at the end with 50 seconds left, threw up the Hail Mary. It's either that happens, or it kind of played out like it did. We didn't have the timeouts and everything, and we had less time on the clock than we probably could have if we did let them score. It could have been maybe a minute 30 and 2 timeouts if we didn't take the timeout.
Like I said, man, if you're offensive minded, I don't think there's any issue with it at all, bro.
I don't think it's about being offensive minded. I think it's just giving
Deke, I'll let you talk, right?
The best chance to win the game.
So I'll let you talk. For me, the reason why we can agree to disagree is this: as a defender, when should I ever wake up and say, I don't think I can get a stop? You've heard the phrase, every blade of grass, a game of inches. That's defense, man. So this ideology of, because of the clock in this situation, just let them score right here, man. Give up the lead. And then let's pray that our offense get it back. You're going to not find a lot of defensive-minded people that are going to agree with that. You'll find a lot of... Hold on. You're getting it. You'll get a lot of offensive people, though, like your mindset, because you're quarterback-driven. Who's your favorite? Ben, right? You love quarterbacks. You trust offense. It makes you find comfort, and there's nothing wrong with that. So I can understand why your perception would be that. The same way a lot of fans perceive, just put the quarterback out there, man. Don't matter. We'll figure it out. I get that. All I'm saying is Coach Thomas has a defensive mind. I have a defensive mind. There are a lot of defenders out there that agree with that decision. And we just say, man, you can't pick and choose because the result didn't work. Now, all of a sudden, it was a terrible. No, it's like, bro, gunfighters get shot. You hear Coach Thomas say it all the time, because you're going to make decisions like that. Trusting the guys that you compensate, trusting your best players, who we would all say at the beginning of the season, our defense is better than our offense. That's the vibe you're going to take, man. Not this, let them score, get the ball back, minute 30, and now let's try to get it back. I'm good on that one, man. But that's Coach Thomas. Like I said, it's difference of opinions with it. That's all.
You can still get the stop, and
you
the Browns still win the game.
Allow them to score. That's not getting a stop. A stop is I'm getting this ball back. Very different. Very different.
You're saying getting a fumble.
I'm getting a stop, meaning
the
whether it's a block
field goal and win the game with time expiring. Yes, it is.
Stop. That's not a stop then. A stop, I could block this field goal. I can force a turnover. All of that happens. But if your mindset is I'm already defeated, then let them score. Hope for the best with offense. That's a defeated mindset. It's personal preference. That's what I'm saying. It's nothing wrong with it. That's just how you perceive it, bro. I'm telling you from experience, man. From being in there with that dude, from a lot of these defenders, man. That's the mindset.
Hey, that's the mindset.
That's
not necessarily.
What is his track record then, Coach Tomlin? Tell me his track record. Does he win or does he lose? So clearly he knows a lot more than a lot of other people. That's all I'm saying, baby.
I mean, it's not necessarily related.
It is, though.
We could talk about late game situations where I don't
How
think he's necessarily
been the best. How many one-score games does he win? He has one of the best percentages of one-score games.
I'm talking specifically about yesterday's game. And I don't think we played the percentages in our favor in the sequence of events those last 2-3 minutes, particularly whenever the Browns got within the 10. And even if we get the stop on defense, they kicked the field goal with time expiring. I don't think that's playing the percentage in your favor to win the game.
Hey, like you said, they're going to kick the field goal and just make it. I'm with you, bro. It's a defeated mindset.
Hey, that's not a mindset the players should have. I agree with you. But
that's why I said we could agree to disagree.
I think it's something the coaching, like, you got to consider that.
So my coach have the
you have to have a more
man?
no, you have to have a more bird's eye perspective.
That we can't trust in this defense that I spend how much money? This is the highest paid defense.
No, you're not. It's not about that. It's you're just trying to give yourself the best chance to win the game, because even if you get those stops on defense, they're going to kick the field goal.
And when you block the field goal, like you've already done multiple times this season, then what?
The percentages are in your favor to do that. Just
I get it. I get it.
We do block field goals. Our special teams is good.
And the percentages are in your favor that you're going to march when you've been struggling all night to protect versus that.
Russell Wilson,
you were struggling all night to protect
in a minute 30, 2 minutes. Yeah, and at that point too, you would only be down 2 points, so you would need the field goal to win.
Like I said, offense.
Given that it's it would be a 20-yard field goal or an 18-yard field goal.
You got your mindset, your perspective. I got my perspective. There's nothing wrong with it, bro. Like I said, it's just difference of perspectives on it, man. If you're a defender, you think you can always get it done. If you're an offensive guy, you want the ball last. Nothing wrong with it, baby.
AJ Martinez says, it may sound strange. We need to be a 2-quarterback team in bad weather. Fields had no problem.
We just read that one. Yeah.
Let's Get You Dub says, was that JPJ out there? Was that Eli Apple? Also, why did we trade for Williams just to not use him?
How'd you feel about JPJ last night?
Jameis was making good throws. I mean, I don't think he was terrible. Wasn't his best performance, but hey, it happens when you play the cornerback position.
Yeah, I wasn't tripping on it. Judy, man, they got Judy in some good spots, man. But I don't feel like it was a bad, like, he's getting after him. I didn't think it was that. And Mike Williams, like I said, he's still getting acclimated. He's the new guy, so it's gonna take some time, man. We had a whole new wrinkle in offense last night on a short week. You got to ask yourself, man, how much does Mike Williams already know with all that stuff, man? It's like I said, he's getting on a moving train, man, but his role will get expanded, man. But like I said, this is a part of it. This is just, like you said, like with the video games where you just put him in there, knows everything, and it's perfect. It's like, nah, it's going to take some time to get up to speed. And it's going to take some time for the coaching staff to trust him in some of those moments, but he's going to get out there, man.
AJ Martinez, yo, Deke, we are okay. Trust my words, Diggler.
Ooh. AJ being motivational this morning. I see you, AJ.
Yeah, I agree with that.
I see you, AJ.
Hey, it's a loss. Shit happens.
It's frustrating as heck, though, because, we should go out there and beat them. We should have beat them. But here we are. Here we are.
John Richard, was it me or was Herbig being held a lot? I see what he's saying.
I mean, it's part of it. I would agree.
Honestly, yeah, the one where Jameis scored on the 4th down. That little run in the end zone, I looked at him like, I mean, are we sure Herbig's not getting held there? Mm-hmm. Are we sure?
I mean, this is the frustrating part as it pertains to just the National Football League. It's an offensive league. So, case in point, you can hold on offense and you're going to get the benefit of the doubt more times than not. If you play wide receiver, you can push off at the break point and you're going to get the benefit of the doubt more times than not. Flip side, if you play defense, they're not calling out holding penalty unless you look absolutely egregious with it, right? If you breathe on the receiver down the grass, everybody is hollering for a flag, right? The Emerson and GP play, me and Deke both kind of already talked about. It was like, yeah, there's a lot going on with it, but I don't think that should have been a call. But I'm sure there are people that are passionate about, like, yo, that should have been a flag right there. And it's like, man, the receiver just as much involved as the DB is here. But that's a part of it, man. So, like I said, with JPJ, man, that's a part of it, man. He'll be all right, though. He'll be all right. And with Herbig, yeah, he was getting hell at times, but you just got to know that that's a part of defense in the NFL, man. It sucks, but play through it. And that's typically what happens for the Steelers, man. They play through all that.
Chase Grieve, why aren't the receivers coming back to the quarterback when they're done running their routes, when they're covered and it's time to move from Russell? He makes bad decisions.
He said, why aren't the wide receivers coming back to the QB? So it's time to move on from Russ because he makes bad decisions. All right. How'd you feel about it, man?
I mean, you don't really get a good view on what the receivers are doing from the broadcast copy. I'm trying to think of plays where Russ had time and he had to scramble, get out of the pocket, and what happened.
Yeah.
I don't know if there were too many of those type of plays. I feel like maybe he just threw it away. So for a handful of them, maybe he's got a point. But I think a lot of the other passing plays. So we were, at least Russ was 21 of 27. So we had 21 completions. I think what'd you say? 6 of them were down the field.
Yeah, 6 explosives.
Russ, he had a couple slant routes. Some of them were check downs. So I think there were only a handful of plays where he had to like scramble, improvise. Yeah. So I don't know what the receivers were doing on those plays.
Yeah.
I don't know how prevalent that was throughout the course of the game, because the other ones where Russ had to take a sack, like I said, I think you could blame the offensive line if you want, but they still gave Russ some time to make a pass. And I think the receivers, for the 2 or 3 seconds that Russ had to throw, they're still running their main routes. It's not like they have to go improvise and do their own thing at that point. I don't know. Yeah, I mean, it's tough to tell from the broadcast view. Maybe he was at the game.
Yeah, let's say it, because I didn't really leave with that takeaway, but I'm waiting on all 22 as well, man, to see a little bit more of those details, man. But regardless of the receivers coming back to the ball or not, my mindset isn't move on from Russ because of the receivers. I'm saying we agree to disagree with that, but shout out to you, Chase, man. We definitely appreciate your support, baby. You know this.
All right.
And y'all hit that like button one time for the culture if y'all enjoying this here morning action, waking and biking it up one time for the culture. And subscribe if you are new to the channel.
AJ Martinez says, Cleveland won early because of the rage. They came in hot, and their fans never quit. I use the rage every day to get through.
Ooh.
TJ had the rage.
Shout out to the rage. Shout out to the rage.
I didn't see TJ having that.
On a positive note, GP had the rage. There we go. GP had rage. You like his rage?
Yeah.
Yeah.
TJ was a no-show, man. Terrible timing,
Herbig had the strip sack, though. Herb had the strip sack. Yeah.
Terrible timing. Yeah, that was just salt in the wound. Myles Garrett getting 3 sacks and TJ Watt doing jack shit.
Oh, especially after he was talking to. Oh, man. I said, you got Myles out here barking, going into this game, and then y'all to let this boy get these sacks go. When he had that sack on opening drive, I saw he's feeling it now. Because you got the monkey off your back.
Either way, Myles is still wrong. He's wrong in saying that TJ needs to apologize. He shouldn't feel that way about it, that type of stuff, because that was last year.
I'm with you, bro.
This year's this year, and, I mean, based off yesterday's game, you outplayed TJ, and you had 3 sacks. I think he's probably got like 10.5 or 11 sacks now. So, yeah, this year's a different conversation.
Yeah.
Every other year, TJ Watt has played football, and you've played football. TJ Watt's the better player. Yeah. Yep. So like you don't really have a defense there, and he was the one that brought it up. That's the other thing. It's like you're still wrong in what you said before the game, but you can have this win from last night though. I mean you got the upper hand right now for this season over TJ. I'll give you that.
But it's literally that's the funniest thing with Myles. I'm like, Myles, to 99% of the NFL defenders, you are absolutely right in how you speak and how you act and how you walk around. But the one dude that is and has been better both on the field and statistically is TJ Watt. That's the part that I think just drives him nuts, man. And you see it twice a year, you hear it all the time, baby. But yeah, he had a game last night. That probably was his best game versus us though, huh? That and the Mason helmet game. Yeah. I
don't remember exactly what his stat line was in that game, but
I just remember the helmet.
Right.
Yeah. That was kind of like the defining moment. Yeah. But this had to be his best game. And I was like, dang, Dad. Like, yo, what's happening, baby? Like, some of this stuff, yo, we got a chip over here, got a Titan over here. Ain't nobody helping you out, baby. Yeah.
Mike Hood says, Deke, cheer up, buddy. There's another game coming. Salute to the GOATs and Mr. Moats. I made a rhyme. LOL. I'm ticked too, but it's only one game.
No, facts, man. We definitely hot about this situation here, man. Yeah, we stayed up late watching this nonsense. Absolutely, we hot. But we bouncing back. Hold on, we missed one earlier. Let me get my man Tito with the good vibes. Shout out to Tito. It says, these games always concern me. One team takes unconventional risk with nothing to lose, and they converted on them. That's fair. The Browns were definitely a lot more aggressive with their fourth down attempts. Was it 4 or 5?
Might have converted them all.
Five. It was like 5 or 5.
Third down until the last series. I think they ended up 1 for 10 on third down, but 100% on fourth.
Yeah. So it's like, when you get a team that's going to play aggressive like that and they're actually converting on it, and then the flip side, you can see we're playing aggressive and we're not converting on it. Once again, this is how a 2-8 team can beat a 8-2 team. You keep giving them hope. They're able to stick around for a little bit, make a play here, play there, and now all you need is a weird break one way or the other. And now, you know, you get the result that we got, so to speak, man. But yeah, they that fourth down situation, man, they converted on a ton of them. Definitely did.
AJ Martinez says, ball out, rage out, show out, win out. Let's go.
Let's go. Let's go. How we feel about GP's rage, man?
I don't know much about it. I just saw
the Hail Mary
scuffle happen.
Yeah.
After the game, he got into the stands. He was fighting Greg Newsom, right? He wasn't fighting a fan.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't really know what happened. Did he explain it after?
Nah, you saw the video of it?
Not really. I mean, whatever they showed on the broadcast is what I saw. It's just I saw people trying to wrap him up.
Nah, so like it starts like in the play. They're like running on the field. It's like just like almost like manhandling each other, and then they just literally the ball's in the air. I don't even think either one of them are even like caring about the ball by then.
Oh,
it's like,
God.
Yeah, that's why I thought you saw it. Yeah, they're like the memes were going out. They're like, yo, when it's a Hail Mary time. Oh, GP on Ron Artest energy. They had that man, the meme of him going up in the stand, whooping up on homie. Because literally you see him like, they in the middle of the end zone running like this. And then they hitting it to the wall. And then they get into it for a little bit. Play ends. And then the refs and stuff come over there, bro. Yeah.
So Pickens had no chance of catching the pass.
No, bro. I don't even think he's in bounds with the play, like when the ball actually like hits. Because they're like so into it going off the field, bro. It was really like a beeline. Just boom.
And here I was ready to defend Pickens.
I was ready to
be on his side with
the
scuffle. I was just gonna be like, all right, yeah, Pickens, I'm with him, man. Like,
yeah, it was physical. They were physical. I would have.
Now that I know that it started while the ball was in the air.
Oh yeah,
that's great.
Look at them. By the time they hit the end zone, bro, they're like in each other, running down there. And for me, I'm just like, you could throw a flag, but we've seen how the referees officiate Hail Mary plays. They allow the jostling. They allow the contact. They allow the pushing and pulling in the end zone. So as I'm watching it, I'm like, that's what's going on. But it's like they never stopped. Pickens just kept going with him, and literally, boom, they hit the back wall, and it's like, oh, man, they really going at it. So, yeah, that's like the whole joke with GP right now. It's like, oh, hey, ball up. Hey, Hail Mary time. Hey, all right, he about to go whoop somebody. Hey, you need to play? Hold on, GP about to go whoop somebody, man. Yeah.
That's terrible.
They showed the Georgia Tech Joe from the college. Say, look, Hail Mary time. No. He got action right here, man.
The guy we need most to be eligible for a Hail Mary pass wants to be fighting instead of.
Me and wifey looking. I'm like, bro, you can't be the one tussling now. I need you going up to get it. Like, I need that. I felt like he wanted to fight though, because Deuce's helmet was off at the end. Both helmets was off, but I'm like, yo. I was just side with GP. I feel like GP got the best of it.
Well, I would. I would side with GP because I don't. Yeah, whatever happened after the play. GP. You know, if you're in a tussle with a Browns guy, I'm siding with you. But or not a Browns fan, a Browns player. Yeah. I'm siding with you. But to find out that it started while the play was happening, that now it's just like I can't defend GP for that.
Yeah.
But
that was my thing. I'm just like. This is what I mean. We said this is the GP experience, man. You got some moments every game, one moment here and there, and you know, I get it. But he still
had
a
very catchable ball. It was thrown up very much. I mean,
I think if he could stop midway and actually go vertical, I think he might have a shot at it. At least drawing a penalty. And because we know how his catch radius is, I think it's safe to assume that it's more than likely would have came down with it. Problem is, we'll never know, because by the time that they landed, the boys is out the back of the end zone getting active, bruh. I'm just like, yo. But once again, I will also say this, because I know some people are gonna, have their feelings about how he was post game, right? With talked about the weather, but just more so doubling down, saying, yo, I don't think they're a really good team. I personally don't have a problem with that. And I'll say it because of this. We always talk about the cookie cutter, just verbatim. They're just giving us coach talk or giving us interview speech. And we say, yo, that's boring. That sucks. I want to know how you really feel. A dude tells you how he really feels. And now we're going to say, oh, you immature. You ain't supposed to do that. Nah, that's bad. I don't get with that, man. I feel like, yo, this has been GP's energy since he's gotten here. When that dude talks, he is 100% authentically himself. Right, wrong, and indifferent. And if he truly feels like, yo, that team isn't like that, man, I don't have an issue with him saying that. He did play well. Did you lose? Yeah, both things could be true, though. The beautiful part for him is he's going to get a chance to see him later in the year, but a couple weeks, and see if he can go ahead and prove what he's saying. And the flip side, you know what Newsom, he said, man, that's a fake tough guy. So you can see his back and forth. Right now, he got the win. So he get to say some of that stuff and feel good about it. But even he is going to have to see what that's like in a couple of weeks, man. So, like I said, with GP, man, my only caution would just be don't allow the rage, as AJ likes to put it, to take yourself out the play, because you are way more of an impact player to us than any DB that's going to be guarding you, man. And that helps them more than it helps us by you whooping up on this dude, taking him out the back of the end zone. Like, that, to me, is allowing a guy to get in your head a little bit, man. And I think for GP, because he's young, he just has to kind of continue to walk that line a little bit better. But as a whole, I mean, GP still had a heck of a game last night. We would all agree, like, he made some plays for us, man.
Yeah, he was good.
Yeah. But that was, yeah, looking at that Hail Mary, I'm just like, bro, what we doing, man? Why you got to whoop on him right now? Like, can we just look up and just go get this rock, please? Beat him up after you catch it, man. There.
Yeah, don't let the side show be a bigger priority than the main show. Don't let your little tiff with the Browns cornerbacks.
It's like overtaking your
job
mindset.
And what you need to be doing for the team.
Mm-hmm.
Damn, and that's the thing about Pickens. I like what you're saying about defending his post-game interview. Now,
yeah.
Obviously not the smartest thing to say. Right. I think you put an additional target on your back. It comes off as petty, not professional.
And that's fair. That's 100% fair.
The thing we could say about Pickens, after you're with him saying stuff like that, or maybe even, just not having the most polished answers in his interviews at times, he does back it up with his play for the majority. Obviously, sometimes he doesn't have the details all together, but he still is a huge positive for this team, and it has huge impact, unlike other players in the past, like Claypool.
Did you have to put the name on it? God damn.
So there's that. Because Claypool has called out other teams before and everything, but it's just like it's just a different
the Browns
type of
is the Browns. We're gonna clap them boys.
GP says that after yesterday's game, but he's gonna step up next week. Yeah. He's gonna be locked in for the next Browns game.
No, facts.
Unlike Claypool, I don't know what the hell is gonna happen with him.
Facts.
But the other thing about Pickens is he never throws anyone on his team under the bus.
I would agree.
So I think that's better. Obviously, if he could clean up these post-game press conferences and not say anything like what he did yesterday, that would probably be most optimal. But I'd rather err on the side of the way he answered yesterday as opposed to saying other stuff.
Yeah. And
given to that he will back it up. There's no question about what he can do on the field and what he could bring to the table on a week in and week out basis.
Yeah.
I can live with it.
Yeah,
and it's not like he hasn't said stuff like this in the past. Yeah. Blaming the refs or blaming outside factors on the game. Yeah. He has, but they've flown more under the radar because they haven't been on Thursday Night Football. You're the only show in town. Yeah,
it's prime time. That's the fact. It's always louder, and especially after a loss, it's super duper loud, man, when you have the expectations that we had versus a team like the Browns. But, yeah, man, that was definitely my energy, man. As soon as I heard it, watched the whole game, I'm just like, yeah, you young, but that's who you've always been, and I don't want to take that away from him. I think that's a part of his edge. I think Ocho Cinco was the guy who said it. No, Ocho definitely did before in terms of, like, putting the target on him, putting pressure on him, but Peasy, Joey Porter, we got to talk to him, man, and he was talking about specifically why he would talk so much trash. He was like, bro, I'm one of those players, I can't feel like I got the advantage. I can't feel like, oh, this is a layup game. Otherwise, I'm not going to play at my best. He's like, I got to be out there talking. I got to go out there and put that pressure on me so that way I can perform. He was like, does it put more pressure on my team? Yes. But luckily for Peasy, he was like, yo, I had the guys that was going to rally behind me. With GP, man, I get similar energy. It's like, yo, he feel like, yo, I'm going to talk to you. I'm going to let you know, like, who I am out here. but he backs it up. Does it put more pressure on the team as a whole? Yes. It's not as loud as Juju and Claypool when they was doing they talking and dancing and stuff, but it does still add some pressure to you. The best thing for us is that GP, you can make a case, is one of our best players on offense. Between him, Russ, Fields, Najee, however we want to put it, he is in that category. So at least it's kind of like with the Peasy situation where if your best player is talking, he can set the wave and we all can kind of follow it. So for GP, it's just like, yo, you just got to know that this is what comes with it. That Browns game, when you play them in a couple weeks, man, they are going to be pissed off, turned up to the max, ready to prove once again that they are better than us and that GP is a fake tough guy. That is going to be their whole mindset. Myles Garrett, that's going to be their energy, man.
It's a quick turnaround, too.
Yeah. So it's going to be fresh.
2 weeks.
It's all going to be fresh, man. But this is what comes with the talking. So we know what it is on the front end. We can't be surprised about it in 2 weeks. When they come out here fired up, we better be ready to go as well, man. But as long as you know what it is, hey, prepare accordingly, man.
Corey Hewen says this team is 8-3. I'm not worried at all.
Can't be worried, baby. Come on. The pattern is winning. That's what they say, dude.
I will be worried if we lose. I
will start to.
I'm not going to say worried.
You told me Cincinnati was good.
I'm not going to say worried. I will say start to be a little concerned.
Man.
If we win or if we lose next week.
We said this is the gauntlet, right?
I will start to get a little concerned.
So far, we 2-1 in the gauntlet.
And it all depends on how that game looks. But, I mean.
Yeah. 2-1 in the gauntlet, and the only loss was on a Thursday night snowstorm. So far, so good. Let's see what we do in this third part. I mean, this fourth segment of said gauntlet.
Still shouldn't have lost.
I would agree also.
Xavier TG, our play calling against division teams seems different. I can't recall going for it on fourth down this many times in the past.
Yeah.
Hashtag gamble, hashtag slander Deke.
Hashtag aggressive mindset. Hashtag playing to win, not being conservative, understanding that you got an inferior opponent, and if you can connect on some of these aggressive calls early and get a lead on them, maybe you take their heart out of it, man, and it's an easier night for you. Unfortunately, the Browns, man, did a good job of making that aggressiveness backfire on us, and they took advantage of it in their own right, man. But we were definitely aggressive. I could feel you felt that last night.
Yeah, I thought the energy was there.
Nah.
Antimatter Eli says Deke jinxed us. Everybody boo that man.
No. Deke ain't jinxed us, man. Deke had confidence. I had confidence too. We supposed to have confidence. You saw we was playing.
Create New Rules says, I'm not tripping on the loss. It was the Browns playoff game in the snow. As long as we didn't have major injuries, we get those extra days of rest for the playoff push, I'm good.
Nah, facts on that, man. Facts. Yo, shout out to the fans, though, last night. Bro, when they got to that super duper cold portion of the game when it was crazy snow and I started seeing all them dudes with no shirts on and different masks, I'm like, oh, y'all some real life soldiers, bro.
I mean, it wasn't that cold up there.
Hey, man, I ain't see a lot. I don't be seeing
like 30 degrees.
Deke, where are our shirtless people at on game day, Deke? I saw so many shirtless people there last night, bro. I'm like, where's our shirtless people at, man? I know we gonna say it wasn't that cold, but where are our shirtless people? There were 2-8, Deke. 2-8.
I don't know how I want to spin this.
Shirtless people, bro.
But I could say we have some class here in Pittsburgh. We have some class.
But there's more than it's cold, shirtless. I said, yo, what is this? Salute them dudes, man.
It was only 30 degrees.
Deke, how many shirtless fans we got, man? How many shirtless fans?
I don't know. I mean, we definitely have some.
Where? I don't ever see them. You could see them everywhere in that crowd last night, man. It was like every time they put the camera, I'm like, yo, that's a whole different shirtless guy right here. That's an old shirtless guy, young shirtless guy, big shirtless guy, small shirtless guy. Yeah, he got a mask. He don't got a mask. He got a luchador mask. You know.
Like I said, I think maybe we're just the classier fans, but I know I get the shirtless fans is a sign of toughness and bravado.
Yeah, they beat their chest a little louder last night. Man. You heard that racket the whole game.
Yeah.
Car. Yeah, bro. Daggone dog pound, man. Dog pound.
Xavier TG, we had Fields thrown with 2 gloves on. KPA style. Does Fields need hand stens?
Hey, yo.
Like slander Deke. No, I think look at his hand size. I think it's fine.
So Fields definitely wears 2 gloves going back to his Chicago time. But when he came on that field with 2 gloves, Deke, I instantly was like, yeah, he ain't throwing nothing tonight, bro. Yeah, so I kept thinking, he ain't throwing nothing. But he is a 2-glove wearer. He doesn't have small hands. He wears 2 gloves, man, when it's cold out.
Big Ben did at times.
Yeah.
I think, didn't Peyton Manning wear 2 gloves at times, too?
Yeah.
It was cold. Brady might have.
Which bad?
You don't agree?
I'll say certain levels of cold. Yes. Not what you was calling 30 degrees cold. No.
Well, it was snowing, though. I think that's the other thing. That helps with the grip on the ball.
Fair enough, man. I ain't tripping on it, baby. I ain't tripping on it.
When you got snow or rain, I think that's another reason.
I ain't tripping on it, man. I ain't tripping on it at all, man. Hey, to each their own. Some quarterbacks wear gloves. Some quarterbacks don't wear gloves. Hey. Shoot, we had the both of them in our whole game. One wearing gloves, one not wearing gloves. Think about it between Russ and Fields. And both were effective, man.
Is it like a bad look to wear gloves or something? Am I missing?
So, no. Put it like this, man. Functionality, there is nothing wrong with functionality. When you're talking,
Ben definitely wore 2 gloves.
So let me explain.
Times.
I'll explain to you.
Late in season.
Functionality, there is never an issue with anything, whether it's the cleats, the gloves, the helmet, the mouthpiece, etc. Whether you're talking fashion, some of that comes into play, but as a whole, it's the machismo, the bravado. If you're a football player, you're supposed to be what? Tough. Hence the reason why you don't show up on the field with a sweatshirt on when it's snowing out there. You go out there with no sleeves on, and you like, bro, I'm a man. You soft. You got sleeves on today. That's kind of the mindset with it. So when you see the gloves, it's like, yeah, Ben, Brady, Manning, they all wore gloves at times. But typically, you look at some of the temperature, it was like, oh, this supposed to be like brutally cold. Not necessarily the snow element, just the super cold part for the grip stuff. So they said, man, to each their own. It only became an issue with Kenny because Kenny wore them year round. Dude's putting gloves on, man, at the quarterback position. It's no different than watching a guy on defense when it's raining take gloves off. It's like, all right, that's just your personal thing. Ain't no issue with it. But it's just with Kenny, because he was doing it in September and August and stuff, dude was like, yo, bro, what is that? Yeah. But, man, don't nobody really care if Fields wear gloves or not, man. If it's snowing, cold, like, yo, do what makes you better. The same with dudes on defense. If you want to put sleeves on, Devin Bush, I think he has sleeves on. Cool.
Of course.
But he made plays last night. You know what I mean? So it's like, yo, it is what it is. We look at our LBs, hey, showing them show them tattoos, man. You know what it is, baby. Yeah, roll the window down when it's cold out. It's just, and it's all the mind game, too. If I look at you and you look cold, in my mind, I'm like, oh, I'm already up on you, man. If you worried about these elements out here, boy, it's about to be a long night for you. So you playing all of that into the psyche.
Rod, we didn't have a touchdown in 7 quarters. We didn't have a problem scoring with Fields. Russ was holding on to the ball too long. History is Russ takes sacks.
What about the touchdowns in the second half, man? Fields had one, but then I'm sure Russ had another one. So I get the 7-quarter thing that they put up there as if it was like some doom and gloom. But there's context in that. And at the same time, it's like, as we talked about, man, we can focus on just that element of it, and you could be the Cincinnati Bengals. They score almost every quarter. How many stops do they get? What is their overall record? It's one of those things where we're not trying to have we just want to be able to do this. It's like, nah, man, we working on all type of stuff, man. But sure, I don't think he held the ball too long. I think there were some times where he probably could have got it out, but at the same time, to act as if act like Myles Garrett wasn't on his sack specifically, winning in a hurry, whether it was the 2 on Dan Moore or the 1 on Zach Frazier. Am I tripping, or where was any of the resistance when Myles was winning there? It wasn't he's holding it too long. It was that dude's winning. Now, like I said, 3 of the 4 he got sacked on, man. But yeah, I don't agree with this scoring problem narrative, man. But that could just be me, man.
I think, to put it simply, we didn't score a touchdown in last game, so that's 4 quarters right there.
You know what I mean? Like, and then it was the first 2 quarters of this game.
Yeah, I don't think it had
to
be like,
all right, whoa.
That
hey, it's a scoring problem all of a sudden now, guys. Oh, yeah, man, it's been 7 quarters. I'm like, all right. We scored how many last week before? But I got it, man. I got it.
Right. I mean, whenever I saw that stat, I just said, let's see what we do in the second half.
Man.
Because we still 1-score game.
Scored multiple touchdowns
almost like last week,
half.
the week before, Ravens See what Russ does in the second half. Let's see what the offense does in the second half, because that's money time. As long as As long as it's a one-score game, even it got to a two-score game at one point. It got to a two-score game in the Commanders one too, and we ended up coming out with a win. Offense was able to step up in moments.
Yeah. They said some of those stats do matter. They give you context, and I'm not minimizing them, but we can't overreact to the stats more importantly. And I think that's that fine balance that we're always trying to toe between players and how we analyze it as well with the data and the information in the videos and stuff, man. All of it kind of goes together with that thing, man.
AJ Martinez, the team needs to have 14's attitude, fighting. We need to become bad boys instead of the Jersey Shore type together celebrating dudes. JK, the dogs won.
AJ said, I'm tired of all this nice guy stuff, man. Let's come out here and rage. Broderick be having the energy. We was critical of him at, taking it too far at times, man. Say, hey, man, dial that back a little bit. I like 14's energy. I don't know if we need everybody to have 14's energy, though, man. We can't have everybody on that.
No.
I think he's
good to have one or two players.
Yeah, I would say just
one on each side of the ball.
Absolutely.
Pickett's problem is, he just needs to do the little things right.
Yeah.
I'm not seeing any non-blocking highlights pop up or lowlights pop up with him.
No low energy plays or nothing like that.
Right.
As a whole, he looks good. It's just the occasional pick and play.
Yeah. That's good. The protection and receivers are an issue, but he had these issues in Denver in the red zone.
And you're going to have similar issues that were in Denver when you talk about why that took place in Denver and why we're struggling with that here. It's the exact same context. Change the uniform color and stuff like that, but if protection isn't what it needs to be, receivers don't create separation, you lose the vertical threat in the red zone. That's why scoring as a whole is a lot more challenging in the red zone. I don't all the way follow what we're trying to, I guess, get there. Do we don't think he's good because of the red zone specific? That's when we keep bringing it up. I just try to get to where are we trying to, where's the finish line that we're trying to get to? Because otherwise it's we're just talking, so not me and you, but I'm saying in general, as it surrounds Russ in red zone specifically. It's if we don't think that he's good enough to be the quarterback, then I think, all right, let's just say that then. But if we keep focusing on that, I'm it's too much context to just make that on that dude right there, man.
Yeah, at this point going forward, we just got to be better in the red zone. Yeah, I don't think Russ has deserved to be benched or anything like that.
What about maybe I'm missing?
I think he's been playing good, even though these last 2 games hasn't been what the first 3 were.
Nah.
He's been playing good. He's been playing good enough for us to win. Particularly yesterday. I mean, the 270, the touchdown.
That's what I thought.
Wasn't perfect. I think the snow affected the game a little bit too, because second half is Russ time. I think second half is the time for him to cook better, and he gets a better feel for the game.
Yeah, he's more.
But the snow neutralized that somewhat. He still did his thing. He still did good things.
Yeah, and could he be better? Yes. But both these could also be true.
Michael G., we see the Browns again soon. Learn from this loss.
Big facts. But, we got to be better in the trenches, man. We got to be better in the trenches. That's the one thing I would say when we get back to them in 2 weeks. We got to be better there, man.
AJ Martinez says, I want to see 2 QBs on the field. /
the double pass?
I don't necessarily think he means double pass. I mean, that could be a play.
We got some options to cook it up a little bit, yeah.
You could have Fields at receiver, Fields at running back, Fields in motion, laterals.
I don't put it
a bunch of BS.
I don't put it past. Deke, don't do it like that, Deke. Don't put it past it just yet, Deke. It's going to hit, watch. You know it's going to hit.
I mean, if Najee's running like he did yesterday, we might as well have Fields in the backfield.
Don't do that. Najee got one snow game. He ain't got the tires right. Now it's he back into the doghouse, Deke. Don't do him like that, man. Take Najee out the doghouse, man.
Fields and Warren looked like the snow wasn't affecting them at all.
Take him out the doghouse, Deke. He had a bad night. It was a short week, all right? It was cold. He said it was the coldest game he ain't never played in snow before, all right? Jameis said neither, but here we are. Yeah.
And you said he put the ball on the ground twice?
1.5 times. All right. Then he was down the second one. It was 1.5, man.
Greg Yeager, Tomlin's first blunder of the year.
I mean, he's the head man, so sure. He said, man, we take the 8 Tomlin wins, and yeah, we'll take the 3 Tomlin losses, man. Yeah, bounce back. Yeah, definitely bounce back.
Yeah, I think the blunder more came from the late game.
No, and we can, like we said earlier, we can agree to disagree on that, man. But trust me, I definitely can see your perspective on it. 1,000% I can see your perspective.
Eddie T weight loss, I understand most, but my dog, our coach has to learn how to adapt to different situations regardless of what type of coach you are.
Where's Eddie T? Dang, I missed that one.
Maybe.
Shout out to Eddie T. I was looking, I'm like, yo, I don't see where this thing was at, man. Oh, all right, now I got you. Okay. Oh, that chat had jumped a little bit. So he says, all right, understands my dog, man. Got to understand how to adapt to different situations. I think that's fair enough. I think the thing is this, though. We are, from my perspective, I think that we all just get hypercritical and almost super overreactionary when the outcome isn't what we want. And then we start to make big general, ideas or wanting to have these kind of changes based off of smaller situations when you look at the overall body of work, and it shows you why this mindset is what it is and why it has gotten them where it's gotten them. If this is what you've done and this is why you are still currently a very successful coach with this ideology, how do you abandon it when it's time to put it to the test? That's my whole thought process with it. I get the situational case by case and all these other nuances, but at the same time, if my gut is telling me I trust this unit and this is who I want to either live or die with, I'm not faulting him on that, because under his tutelage, his body of work reflects that he makes excellent decisions as a whole as it pertains to this team. So I can't, to me, I don't look at that and say, well, because this is your mindset, I'm going to dock you for sticking with that same mindset that and got us to 8-3, that's done had all this success and all this other stuff, but now I'm going to dock you right here. I don't agree with that personally, man. I just think that this is a part of it. You're going to live with it when it's, when it's great, we're going to love it. And when it doesn't work out, we pissed about it. But that's just how I look at it, man. Like I said, I could definitely understand the other side of it, though. The other side is for certain, man. Hey, we feel like we get a better chance with the ball in our hands. We feel like, man, as long as you got time on the clock with the ball, with the quarterback, man, I just feel like I got more hope. And there's nothing wrong with that. Honestly, there isn't, man. We've seen both sides be successful with it. We've seen both sides lose with it. We've seen quarterbacks hit the ball at the last minute, man, minute and a half of the game. Oh, can he get a 2-minute drive? And we're like, oh, he sucks. He ain't going to do it. And then he does. We've seen the dude at the end of the game. It's like, oh, man, he ain't going to do it. And then he actually does come out there and carve you up. You're like, oh, shoot, this did happen against us. So, once again, it's like, yo, you pick your poison. Neither element is surefire 100%. Neither one. But it's what you feel more confident in. When you lay your head down at night, if you feel better by saying, look, man, my offense had a chance at the end, we just ran out of time, or we couldn't get it done with the 2-time or $130, and that makes you sleep better, cool. If you're a guy that's like, yo, I gave my defense every chance to get that final stop, blade of grass, block a punt, block a field goal, block, whatever, do what you can do, man, create a turnover. I've seen the Ryan Shazier pull the ball out at the end of the game. I've seen this video. I've seen this dude. I've seen it. It's like, yo, all right, didn't work out. All right, man, it is what it is. But to be, like I said, that's just how I look at it, man. And from being in them experiences, it's like, yo, I've had both sides of that with the coaches, man. The ones that are more offensive minded that have told us, yeah, man, when he gets to here, let him score. And you're like, bro, for what? So this quarterback that ain't even nice like that can go out there and get the ball? All right, bro, whatever. And then I've seen the flip side where it's like, defense, we need to stop. I don't care what they saying. Get this ball back. Ain't no tomorrow. Get this ball back. And I've seen how that played out as well, man. So, like I said, man, we all in it together with it. But when you lose, yeah, every decision and thought process down that stretch, man, really gets, like I said, man, combed into, man, and rightfully so.
Yeah, because I think, Tomlin was a part of it, but like that whole sequence, it also came down to the punt too. It came down to the 3rd and 4. I don't know if you want to put that on Tomlin, put that on Arthur
all
Smith,
of it goes into it together, man.
It was just
all of it.
The calamity of errors.
The opposite of complimentary football. It was the opposite of complimentary. We were stacking up. All right, bad situation here. Make it even worse here, and now it's compounded.
What made it worse is it was right after we did everything right to get back in the game and fight back and show that grit, being down 2 scores.
Absolutely.
Second half. Like, it was a great comeback. I think even worse demise. Just awful.
Yeah. Because it went from no hope to all the hope to we're on top to what the heck just happened.
John Wright, 8-3. Oh, well, we're still good. Sketchy ref, no calls, and calls they did make, but can't hold on to that.
Respect. Let me get a couple in here that came in a little earlier. Steven Griffith, he says, Moats, why no more DJ quick slants like old days? Our only quick slant receiver is Calvin Austin. We try to do slants with Van Jefferson, but he's not the type of receiver that Deontay Johnson is. We don't have a route runner like Deontay Johnson.
Do you consider those slants? Pickens was catching quick slants?
Sure, in theory, yes. But in terms of, he's saying like the Deontay Johnson style of like the volume quick slant underneath stuff. I'm like, I just think that they're different style receivers, man.
Well, DJ wasn't going to be available next offseason.
Hey, we'll see, man. We'll see. But I think that's the difference, man. The receivers that we currently have are more vertical down the grass, whereas DJ, he could give you down the grass, but his specialty was his route running that 10 to shorter, you know what I mean? 15 and intermediate. That area, he's going to route you up, man. And, yeah, that's, to me, the difference. But that was also why he would get as much targets as he got here, was because of how quickly he would create that separation, man. The next one was Corey Hewins. He says, is there anything GP can do to get PI calls? I think part of what's happening right now, officials are adjusting how they call versus him. It's pros and cons to it. From the Steelers side, we hate it because we're saying, if you're physical with a receiver, it should be a flag every time. From a defender side, I'm saying I'm glad that you're allowing defenders to actually fight back and defend themselves versus the bully running down the grass. Just depends on which side you want to rock out on, man. But I think that's why they're not calling as many PI penalties, because you watch GP's tape. He is a physical, create contact, and at the end, I'm going to create them some separation and make a circus catch. So defenders are figuring out, I got to stay in phase with this guy and keep hands on him, even though he has hands on me too. And we know from the viewer's perspective, we always typically side with offense. So that's why the feeling is, when is he going to get a PI penalty? But I just think for those officials, they said, y'all both physical down here, man. Yeah, this dude ain't pull you no more than you pushed him, man. I'm letting y'all play it. And I think that's what's kind of going on with him right now.
AJ Martinez is 5'5", in defense of Digler. Green Bay let Denver score because the chicken was running out, as it was last night. I actually said, F, should we?
Hey, man, nothing wrong with that. Like I said, who's Green Bay's coach? LaFleur, right? It's a different mindset, baby. There ain't nothing wrong with it, though. It's just a different mindset. Couple other, this one was from AJ earlier. He says, would it help to put a lineman in the backfield to block instead of a running back? I'm really reaching 5'5", LOL. We should have just thrown deep. I get why we don't do it. It's better disguise. But Pruitt, Connor, we said they are more tight end H-back than true traditional fullback. So you take the pros and cons with that. They're not going to be the, blow you up, kill you blockers like Ricard is with Baltimore, but they give you a little bit more versatility from a receiving standpoint. When you put that D lineman in that backfield or offense lineman in the backfield as a defender, we're all checking blitz to wherever that guy is going to, because we know, it's got to be a run if he's out there as play action pass, man. And we're not worried about him going out to any route. So that's just the things that comes with that. You can still do it and have success with it, but you just got to know that this is what comes with it, man. Also, this is the last one that we should be caught up. Jeff H, he says, ain't no way Hard Knocks doesn't use this TJ versus Myles Garrett beef. It's too hot right now. I do agree. I think we will be seeing some of that stuff, man, when Hard Knocks drops in 2 weeks now. So shout out to that. And AJ Martinez, I like your new profile face as well. Shout out to you for that, man. And also, man, paying it forward, being a rock star life to that individual that you gifted the Upper Room membership to. So welcome to the Locker room. Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed. And y'all make sure you hit that like button if y'all digging how we are doing it. Well, we getting down to it. We got speed it up a little bit. Oh, man. Because I just 11-10.
Hollywood 931 says, if you said we go 2-1 through the Commanders, Ravens, and Browns after the bye week, I would say that was a good 3 weeks. Yeah, there's some perspective.
I mean, this is the gauntlet.
I think we're coping a little bit there. But.
It is the gauntlet, though, Deke. 2-1 so far in the gauntlet.
Bashir White. Or wait, was there one I just missed?
It's AJ Martinez. He says, I told you, Tito, my vision isn't clear, LOL. And he's referencing the clock.
Bashir White says, in my opinion, this might be Russ's best game.
I could see where you're going with that. I think the hard sell is just overall points scored and the fact that it was a loss. But in terms of the 6 explosives, let's go back and look at some of the other games where we did score more points and, you know, we obviously, felt better because the outcome was a win. But, yeah, I can see where you're going with that, man.
Donovan LaRue, seeing how much we struggle past the 50, is it something that's going to change, or is this just something we have to deal with? It's been every week. Yeah,
so we kind of talked about it, man. The field condenses the closer you get to scoring. Last night was just more so when we crossed the 50, their defense stepped up, made the plays. I know in the first half, that was the Myles Garrett element of it. Second half, we were moving the ball and actually scored. So I don't think that, it's something that we're going to just be okay with, but it is something that you're going to constantly be working on, man. That's the nature of the NFL in terms of why we call it the red zone, man, because it does get a little bit more challenging the closer you get, especially if you are one-dimensional in the sense of our passing attack being more vertical versus it being more of the lateral stuff, man.
Donovan LaRue, we get to the 50 easily, then die out.
It's back-to-back. All right. Shout out to Donovan, though. I like it, though, Donovan. I do. I promise I do.
Trivium Ep.629. Should we see more Fields playing running back and Harris at fullback on these 4th and shorts instead of Wilson coming off the field? He's definitely getting that idea after seeing Judy in the backfield yesterday and Nick Chubb at fullback.
And it worked to her.
Yeah, it was a good play. That was a good sequence because obviously you got to question, like, what the hell is Judy doing back there?
And if
look for some outside shit.
I'm going to say if they flip that play and it's 1-on-1 to the perimeter, you like, oh.
I think it was a smart play.
Yeah, that's the design. I like it.
We might watch. I bet you. I bet you we do that. I bet you we do that one play.
League.
Fields is going to be in the backfield and Najee's going to be at fullback, or maybe Jalen's at fullback.
It's a copycat
and then
league,
we'll hand it off. Turk Hollinger giving us $10.
Shout out to Turk, man. We appreciate your support, man, for the channel, man. Definitely means a lot to us as well.
Donovan Bickelhop, can we call out Minka? He's paid to be an all-around DB that creates splash. He's missed tackles and has struggled in man coverage for 2 years. Casey could play just single high just as well.
We can agree to disagree with that. I think, I know from my perspective, when I watch Minka on tape, I see him taking away shots down the field. I see him making plays, especially we talked about the Ravens game where we highlighted some of his tackling and some of it being in the touchdown saving variety, along with some of his man-to-man coverage actually being good. But I understand, man. The expectation is we want him to be Troy Polamalu type, right? We want splash, interceptions, fumble recoveries, and rightfully so. But to minimize what he is doing to simply just stand in the middle of the field, I think is I think you're just not really appreciating what he truly is doing to the defense and what his impact is. But at the same time, I don't really expect a lot of people to, just because unless you're going back and watching all 22 and truly understanding his role, and along with understanding his role, actually knowing when you're watching the quarterback and seeing specifically how he's impacted. Because that's the other part. We'll be like, oh, he's in the middle of the field. Quarterback went over there. Oh, great play by the quarterback. It's like, you know why he went over there? Because this was where he wanted to look, but this is what he showed early. It's that type of stuff that not a lot of people are going to understand. And we don't expect most people to, but that's ultimately why the coaching staff still feels great about where Minka is right now. Is just, that's the last missing element to what he brings right now. It sucks that it's been so long, especially with how high of a bar he set when he started out here. But this is kind of where we're at right now. He's in a little bit of a funk in terms of creating that. But to act as if all he does is sit in the middle of the field and miss tackles, I got to disagree with you on that. But I do appreciate you, though, Donovan. Shout out to you, man.
Let's get you, Dub. If the defense plays like this for Cincy, we are cooked.
I mean, Cincy can score points, man. And correct me if I'm wrong, defense did have turnovers last night. So,
yeah, I thought actually the defense played decent. They were, again, it goes back to what I was saying before the Ravens game. That was sketchy, but offense put them in a bad spot in the first half with the Russ fumble.
James
and they came out the gate 2 3-and-outs. Yeah, you gave up the touchdown drive, but it came down to them converting on 4th down. And actually, I think all their outside of the very last drive, I think they converted on 4th downs on all of them.
Yep.
Which, yeah, sometimes that's what the game comes down to. They don't get those 4th downs. Maybe they only end up with like 10 points, and we win pretty easily.
And would you call Jameis earlier? You say he looked like who?
That was John Elway.
Yeah. Let's also don't forget to factor that part in. Now, Joe Burrow, he looks like that John Elway dude a lot more frequently. So pressure, getting after him and actually getting him down matters a lot more. And we know it's a different set of issues to deal with. They don't have a Jerry Jeudy. They got somebody else over there. But at the same time, this is a way different matchup when we're talking them versus this Browns team too.
Yeah, I would say the defense reverted back a little bit this game. I think this was a step back after the Ravens' performance, because there was a lot of drops too that we got bailed out by. But ultimately, it's just one of those things. I am still satisfied with the defense because moments in the game when push comes to shove, we need the stops. We get the strip sack and we get the interception.
Dante Jackson interception. What about the Deshaun Elliott forced fumble too? Remember that in the first half?
That was lucky on us, but
I'll
take it.
Whoa. You said that was lucky when he hit Cedric Tillman?
Oh, he wasn't going for the ball. It just hit his helmet. Tillman was being an idiot there, not securing the ball.
Where was his helmet going? What? It was ball side.
Yeah, I think that's more on Tillman as opposed to...
I know you don't give no credit to defense.
No, Lord. I'm saying, so that's the thing. You're teaching.
You teach helmet ball side, yes.
Okay.
Yes, Deke, yes, ball side. Come on, man. Yes. Come on, man. I get it, man. You just want everything to be on offense, man.
Not at all.
If Tillman would have made a miss, we'd have been like, yo, great play by Tillman. But
no, not at all.
He put his helmet on the ball. It's like, yo, that's...
Yeah, I didn't know that. So, okay.
I like it, though, man. I like it.
I'll say that Elliott was purposely doing that.
What?
I've never heard that before.
Yes, that's like facts, bro. That is a legit thing, bro. Yes, head up. Always say your head up, but ball side, man. Facts.
Cool. Antimatter, Eli. Well, here's the thing about the defense too. They made those clutch moments at the end of the game.
That's 3 turnovers, man.
Little did they know that they would have to go out on the field for one more drive.
Hey, chill, man. Don't do them like that, man. I swear I didn't think they was going back out there after that last one. I thought it was done.
Yeah.
I was like, hey, chalk
so that's
it up.
a part of it.
We read it out, man.
If the game ends with us getting those first downs, we win 19-18. I'm talking big on the defense.
And how those series, that's what I'm saying,
about the
bro.
Defense.
Yeah, I'm like, man.
Close it out there. Finish it out.
Respect.
Well, that's also on the offense. Neither side had a great game.
You can make a case. Browns and Cowboys game, low-key, same energy. Multiple turnovers, but you allowed them to hang around. And now at the end, when we need our defense to get that final stop, we weren't able to do it, man. Both situations. But you saw multiple turnovers in both of those games as well.
Antimatter, Eli says, Judy looked like prime Des Bryant.
Facts.
Why? He's fun.
Facts. The run after ability, man.
Steel Nation on fire. I hope Arthur Smith still has more in the playbook. Just trying to see the same plays getting too predictable.
I would agree. Short week, though, also. You don't have a ton of time to make these big overhauling changes or big design additions. I think the Fields thing they've already been working on, and I just think that was why it got rolled out more so this week. But let's see what it looks like next week, man. Full week of preparation, bonus days as well, and hopefully normal weather.
Steeler Nation from Euless, Texas. Is it me, or did they call more holding penalties against our offense than the Browns' offense, or am I tripping?
I didn't keep up with it all the way, but you definitely could not be tripping, though. I would say No, I ain't tripping on you. It was plenty of holes I would see it out there. So yeah.
Chase Grieve, I'm saying Russ makes bad decisions, checks down too much, and had Muth wide open for at least 40 yards.
If we want to hyper-focus on one specific play like that, sure. The reverse effect, what I would say is look at the decision he made on the 6 explosive plays, along with the decision to hit Darnell Washington on some of these plays, man. Check downs aren't bad. I think that we at times get caught up in the ideology of if you're not stretching the field vertically, then you need to just take off with it. Check downs are bad. No, check downs are smart quarterback decisions. It makes that defense have to make a tackle in space, and it keeps your offense in rhythm and on schedule. That's called being a quarterback, man, in the National Football League. I don't think that's a bad thing from my perspective, man.
Joe Gerbis says JPJ is peasy and Mink is TP. We can't be mad when the dogs start barking. I'd rather say well than sick 'em. Yeah. Still Kings of the North. Love the show and the chat.
No, respect on that. Respect on that.
Steel Nation on fire. I think if TJ practices more rushing the other side, TJ will be more scary.
I keep seeing them flirt with putting him over there at times, but it's not enough for him to even get like a rhythm over there, man. So I don't know, man. But at the same time, like, yo, you've been dominant on the one side, man. Just down on one side. You got 100 and something career sacks all on this side right here. Don't overthink that thing, man.
Steel Nation, or no. Steel Spaceman says sabotage Boz. Tomlin is the off.
Say, man, he broke his confidence up, man, putting him out there in that 58-yarder.
No, he didn't, because Boz came right back, made everything else he needed to.
Facts.
Yeah, just long field goal, 58-yarder. I'm more pissed off that going back to the Colts game that Tomlin didn't give Boz the same opportunity of a 58-yarder indoors, but. Yeah. On the road at Cleveland.
The journey is different.
On the road at Cleveland, little like snowy game.
He's coming off of a Tucker 6-for-6 special teams player of the week performance.
I mean, 58 yards indoors against the Colts. I just come on.
Hey, all good, babe.
Jeff H. Reason they were shirtless is because they are embarrassed to wear those jerseys. F them Browns.
Talk your talk, Jeff H. There it is. Get them up off for you, baby. Yeah. I like it. He said, yo, I ain't finna let y'all just get on ours. Nah, we diehard fans. That's what I'm talking about. Yeah.
Joe Gerbis, Cleveland was playing their Super Bowl. We'll be shirtless in the playoffs.
Okay.
Them Cleveland dudes got us for show. We finna spin the block, Kings of the North.
Yeah. Let's go, Joe. That's what I'm talking about. Can't have the fans out there showing like they tougher than our fans. Heck no, man. They ain't more diehard than our fans. When they turn on our broadcast, I want to hear that annoying all game. It was somebody's hand, Deke. They said it was his hand just hitting it. You did that for all night long in that cold? Oh, yeah, baby. Absolutely.
It's not that impressive. We got dudes like that doing all the time at Heinz Field. It's just it's not close to the broadcast.
Yeah, we got to hear it, man. We heard theirs. It just gives the illusion.
Yeah, I guess they got the broadcast booth all the way up in Peanut
like,
Heaven.
Where are they at? It wasn't because I felt like they were like right next to my bed. Yeah.
Rashawn Jones, Connor Hayward has to be a part of Cam's contract because ain't no way.
Hey, son,
he stinks. Can't block a Lego. Can't catch a cold. How is he still on the roster?
So I'll say this, man. Connor is actually very talented. Does bring a lot. Last night was not his best game. Between the penalties, the execution wasn't the best for him. But you watch him on special teams, and that's why he has the roster spot. Dude makes tackles. He's actually one of our top tacklers on special teams from a coverage perspective. So that's the big reason why he's still very much a part of it. I think his flow gets a little jacked up a little bit because Arthur Smith, to me, looks like he's more confident in Michael Pruitt. And I think when Pruitt is healthy, they play him a lot more. Whereas for Connor, that was more of his role last year. So I just think offensively, he's still trying to get that in order. But in order for him to get more opportunities, he has to play better pre-snap in while the play goes on in order to, like I said, try to sway Arthur Smith to give him more opportunities. But, yeah, last night was not his best situation. But the big reason why he's still on the roster is his special teams ability. Don't lose sight of that, please. Like, he does provide you production there.
He had the one block, I think it was on the field.
Yeah, that's what I said. All right.
Took out two guys.
Yeah.
It's almost by accident, but
it's still, he did it, though. He still did it.
He tripped over himself. He got his body on the one guy, and
he
knocked into his teammate.
Hey, look, find the way, bro.
Dylan A. They should have put Fields out there for the EP.
Oh, you talking about we went to Cordell Patterson on the jump ball? I ain't like that call on the way. I ain't gonna lie to you.
Yeah. Throw that to Mike Williams.
Yeah, if I'm doing that, give me Mike Williams or give me GP.
Again, we refused to put Mike Williams in the game.
Yeah.
Maybe the snow had something to do with it. But
look, either way, if I'm doing that, I wanted to go to the GP or Mike Williams. Yeah.
Dylan A. is it possible he finished with only 10 wins?
With only 10 wins?
It's possible.
Yeah, that. Maybe I missed. All right, never mind. I apologize. We supposed to win more than 10 wins. Yes. I was like, yes, 10 wins bad. I got you. I'm with you. I'm tripping. Let me not trip there. I'm sorry.
All you gotta do is go
like,
2 and whatever the last stretch of games.
Yeah.
You have 10.
My bad.
But we shouldn't. I think that would be bad. I think that would be a bad end of the season if we only have 10 wins with how we started.
That would put us, 4-4 down the stretch, right?
The last 8 games?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Because we're 2-1 in it right now. Yeah, so that'd be 2 more wins and losing the last. Yeah, so it'd be literally splitting the quote-unquote gauntlet directly down the middle.
But it'd be 2 and
3 or no 2 and 4.
After we go 8 and 2, it'd be what? It'd be 2 and. My God, 2 and 5.
2 and 5 down the
2
stretch.
2 and 5 down the last 7. If you include this Cleveland game.
Yeah.
Here going forward, it'd be 2 and no. Why is my math terrible? 2 and 4.
Yeah. They say wouldn't it be
2
the
and
best?
4 the last 6 games.
Right, wouldn't it be the best? But it's like that would be.
I guess you're making the playoffs. I mean,
you limping into it.
We can't risk that though.
You're limping into it.
10 and 7, you might be messing with some tiebreakers and
saying.
stuff though. So we got to get 11. You got to get 11.
11 guarantees it. Yeah.
It's actually crazy now that this one game has me questioning things.
Yeah, 11 locks it in.
That's that comment's fault because I still feel like we're locked for the playoffs, but
we are, man.
Things can get interesting if you're 10 and 7.
That's why 1 week at a time.
Broncos are playing good. Chargers, I feel like they're a lock. Ravens, they're going to be a lock. Like the wild card might be.
You said the Chargers are a lock?
Yeah.
They might be the 3rd team in the division.
What? Yeah, but I think those 3 are going to be competing. Chargers, Broncos.
You got 2 in ours.
I think Chargers.
Us and Baltimore are going to be in.
I think they're a lock with Harbaugh. Denver, they're playing good.
That's what I'm saying.
They are playing good.
I don't think it's a foregone conclusion about the Chargers yet, man. Unless 3 come out of there, because Chiefs are going.
They might. Right now, that's what it would be.
Yeah.
So, actually, we would just be switching with Baltimore.
That's it.
Say we go 10 and 7. You'd be switching with Baltimore. Presumably, they'd win the division. We'd be in the wild card.
Yeah.
But I think that would then be the wild card. The teams that you're worried about would be Colts, Bengals, Dolphins.
Yeah.
That's who you're talking about, potentially messing around 10 and 7, getting a tiebreaker or something like that.
And once again, for the Bengals to be in there, they got to dang near run the table. For the Dolphins to be in there, they got to dang near run the table.
Yeah. Which could happen. It's not. We've done it before. Went 7 and 2 down that stretch. Kenny's rookie year.
I know last
year we went 3-0.
I know you believe in Tua.
I don't.
I know you believe in Tua, man.
I don't. But I think they have a weak schedule and they could get hot. They're not going to do anything in the playoffs, so I'll tell you that. Corey Hewins, what was that beanie delay a game about? I loved the play. I loved it. I think it was a great play because they showed it where, there's an argument. He wasn't even touched down, so he was going for the fumble. But then also the fact that he did that and it stopped the clock. Beautiful play.
All right, we could agree to disagree on it, man. Shout out to Beanie, man.
What was wrong about it?
Taking a penalty, you making them close to the daggone end zone. That's the problem.
Stop the clock, though. Either way, it was a new series of downs.
Yeah. Like I said, man, we can agree to disagree on it, man.
I don't know if he was doing it on purpose, but it worked out.
He was not doing it on purpose. That's what I'm trying to explain to you. But I get it. Hindsight 2020, it is what it is.
We need to remember that and put that in our back pocket when we need to stop the clock. Nick Rice, almost like the Browns on that intentional grounding. You just have an O-line try to touch it. It's going to save you. My God. Nick Rice, love the show, guys. Moats, you are an outstanding linebacker for the Black and Gold, and we all appreciate your time here. Deke, you're the GOAT, bro.
Nah, man, respect you, Nick. We appreciate you, man.
Thanks.
Yeah, but we overrated, man. Hey.
At least for me. He was being too
overrated.
kind in my compliment.
I'm super overrated, man. Don't be like that to me, man. I'm overrated, baby. I'm just glad I get to come in here, man, chop it up with my dog, man, hang out with y'all, man, all right? Hit that like button one time for the culture. Don't forget to subscribe either if you're new to the channel. But shout out to the homie Nick Rice. Making me feel good on this here Friday.
Stephen Griffith, thanks. That makes sense. That was that on Con? I need that. Not sure.
Yeah, I wish I remember specifically.
Eddie Martinez says, shout out to my pops, Ernie Martinez. Let's go.
Shout out to Ernie. Let's get it, man.
11:31.
All right. So listen, we are about to rapid fire these picks real quick. Because we do our picks. Yeah, that's why I was like, yo, come on, man.
I forgot about that.
I know you did. I was like, yo, man, what we doing, man?
We're doing picks?
Yeah, come on, man. We done got it updated.
How much time?
Man, we need 5 minutes to do these picks. All right? Okay. 5 minutes, and that gives us plenty of time. And then after that, I'm mad dash and get to this
Well, I had Steelers yesterday.
Unfortunately, I did too. Yeah. All right, let me pull.
So that's a wash.
All right, where?
You want to just do the records and stuff for next week?
I mean, yeah, we can. Yeah.
And just
because I got it right here, though.
Just so we can get the picks in. All right, up to you. I didn't know if it was going to take a little longer.
Oh, yeah. So, all right, what we finished with last week, for week 11, we were 4-4. Okay. Yeah, in terms of...
Still down 3.
Yeah, you're down... Yeah, 3 on the whole. 42-30. I'm 42-39-3. You are 39-42-3.
Okay.
All right, so that was where we at. Quick recap. I had Eagles -4. You had Commanders +4. I hit. You had Saints +1. I had Browns -1. You hit. You had Broncos -2.5. I had Falcons +2.5. You hit. I had Seahawks +6.5 versus your Niners. I hit. I had Bills -2.5 versus the Chiefs. I hit. You had Chargers -1.5 versus the Bengals. You hit. I had Colts +4 versus the Jets. I hit. And then you had Texans -8 versus the Cowboys. And, of course, yeah, that hit. So, here we are. So, let's get it.
Yeah, I gave you the extra, half point or something.
Yes, and it did not work. It did not matter. Yep.
Colts at home +7.5 against the Lions. 1 o'clock game. I'll go Lions -7.5.
I would too as well. Yeah.
Panthers at home +10.5 against the Chiefs.
I like the Chiefs in that. 10.5 is a lot of points. You want them?
Same. I'm going Chiefs.
What if I get you 11 points?
No.
All right, just checking.
Giants at home +6 against the Buccaneers.
I like Baker. If you like the Giants,
there's no shot in hell I'm picking the Giants.
They got Danny Dimes on scout team safety. Oh, absolutely not.
Texans at home -8 against the Titans.
I gotta take the Texans. Is Mason playing?
I don't know, and I don't really care.
I don't want none of that.
No, I don't think the Texans are that good.
Low key, I'd agree. Oh, geez, this one even worse.
They got
bro.
Nico Collins back though, so
this is a weak slot.
Yeah,
bro.
I'll stick with Texans there. Commanders at home -10.5 against Cowboys.
You talked me into it last week. I don't want no parts of this, man. But for the culture, I will take Cowboys just because of the rivalry. Like. For the rivalry, I'll take it. Yeah, because this is going to be like that.
They'll probably win.
This is like Bengals.
They're on the road.
This is like Browns. This is like Bengals. It's all that.
Cowboys
are
on the road. Yeah. They're going to play better on the road.
Yep. All right.
Dolphins at home -7.5 against the Patriots.
I like Tua.
I'll do Patriots +7.5.
All right,
May's playing good.
Let's go Tua.
Patriots defense ain't bad. Bears at home +3.5 against the Vikings.
Justin Jefferson, man. I'm rolling with the guys. I like my receivers, man.
Yeah, Bears keep losing.
You don't want none of that?
They've been looking better.
You don't want none of that?
Offense actually looked a little bit better last week.
They done fired some people, got some new changes. You don't want none of that?
No, Vikings are a good team. They're a solid team.
Okay.
Raiders at home +6 against the Broncos.
Broncos finna light them up, bro.
Yeah, I'm going with the Broncos.
Yeah, Broncos finna light them all the way up. Sean Payton not playing with them, bro. Yeah, I'm good on that one.
Packers -3 at home against the 49ers. That's a good one.
I like the Packers. Who you liking that?
I'll do the 49ers.
All right.
They got to win.
And I'm picking the Packers because my brother-in-law, man. That's his squad.
This is like a need to win for the Niners. I've been picking the Niners a lot this year.
You have.
A little bit too
that's
much.
like your team, man.
And they've been letting me down.
Low key, they have. But that's definitely your squad right now, man.
Seahawks -1. I think the odds in their game are good, and obviously they're not. Seahawks -1 against the Cardinals. Wow, I'll go Cardinals.
I'm the alum. That's crazy.
You like Geno Smith, though?
I do.
Good for TG.
That's crazy. How you gonna talk me out of the alum squad? That's nuts, bro. But for you, I got you. I take the Seahawks, man. And Geno, we trust, man. With TG say Geno for Heisman. Geno for Heisman, man. Let's go.
Last week.
They did. Geno for Heisman, man.
Rams at home +2.5 against the Eagles.
Whoever you don't like. I like whoever you don't like. Because I can go either way with this one, man.
Same.
No, whoever you don't
like.
like.
Eagles are better right now, but
no. Both teams playing well right now, man.
Yeah, the Stafford Rams are
Yeah.
still fighting for their lives. NFC West. They had a letdown game a couple weeks ago, but
Philly's playing tough. But
Or
you
was it
know
last
it's in
week?
prime time too.
Rams lost. It was one of the last 2 weeks. They lost the game they shouldn't have.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I'll go Rams.
All right.
I'll go Rams with the +2.5 at home.
All right. Let's go, Jalen.
Monday
Let's go,
night,
Hurts.
Chargers +2.5 at home against the Ravens.
I'm going Lamar.
All right, that works. I'll go Chargers.
All righty. So shout out to the gang, Jaron. These are the picks, man. Deke has the Commanders. I have the Cowboys. Deke has the Patriots. I got the fighting Tua Tagovailoas. Deke has the 49ers. I have the Packers. Deke has the Cardinals, the alum Steeler. Ay caramba. And I got the fighting Geno for presidents and Heisman's. All right, so shout out to Geno Smith and the Seahawks. Deke has the Rams. I have the Eagles. And then last is Deke with the Chargers. And I'm taking the real hard ball. The one with Lamar Jackson. All right, shout out to the Ratbirds. All righty. And we had one final super that came in from Donovan Bicklehop. Shout out to you. He says, Moats, as a former pass rusher, do you think TJ struggles with tackles with length? Good game on to the Bengals. Just need 3 to 4 more wins. Good teams don't lose too. Salute to you on that, man. I'll say this, man, with TJ, sometimes the length affects him just because you think of his style. Especially how he likes to bend and get that outside arm for the knockdown and stuff like that. But at the same time, I just think that it's a mix of that quarterback being able to get off that spot and step up at times, because you would watch TJ still winning on the edge, but Jameis could step up, and that's where we start talking the full encompassing thing. But I don't think it's he struggles more versus this style versus that style. TJ got a lot of different body types on his resume, man, in the sense of the guys that he's cooked. So with that, man, he gonna bounce back. It's just last night, man, he didn't play his best, and that dude over there, man, played well. And the Browns used a nice, array of players to kind of inconvenience him at times, man. But he'll be straight. And he was held multiple times. But I digress. All righty. But that will conclude today's show. Hopefully y'all enjoyed it. Deke, where you at this weekend? You got any action for the folks?
Nothing.
All right. The homie said
I got the mini buy too.
He said he's a chill guy, man. He's gonna be vibing out, relaxing. You obviously know how we rocking it over here. If you're local, man, KDKA TV Saturday at 7 p.m. Me and Bob Pompiani will be calling the Whiphill Championship 5A game, Pine Richland versus Peters Township. If you want a Steelers connection, Lawrence Timmons, Law Dog, his son plays for Pine Richland, man. Plays wide receiver for those dudes, man. So it'll be cool. If y'all want to tap in, man, you can see the homie right there. Like I said, it will be on KDKA TV and on their app for digital streaming purposes and stuff like that. But other than that, man, y'all stay safe out there. Stay warm. Enjoy your weekend. And until next time, baby.
Peace.